Hi, I'm Metal Rock Lemon, and when I'm in Northeast Arkansas, when I watch sports, I watch all my sports on YourPrimeTimeSports.com. You should too.
And good morning and welcome to your PrimetimeSports.com. I'm Dave Grimm. Alongside me is Clifton Garmrath. And we're back on Double G Sports Talk Saturday. We've taken somewhat of a break since, we took December off.
Basically, yeah, we did.
We took December off, and now we're back. First of the year, brand new year, and 5A East action has begun. And that's basically why we came back, because lots to talk about now all of a sudden.
And for one night, we got along and had fun last night, didn't we?
That, man, I'll tell you what,
too much of you and too much of me. We just kind of clashed.
We took a month off from each other, and it's like well, I don't know, but anyway,
I told my mom last night coming home on the phone. I told her about the Skittles.
Oh, really? Well, she'll be able to watch that in a few minutes, because right now the girls' game is already uploaded, and the boys' game will be uploaded before we're done with this program.
Okay. She got a big chuckle out of it like you did.
She'll be able to watch that. Both of our games from last night in Blytheville are being uploaded. One's already on and one is being uploaded. And you can watch those and all the other games that we have done on our archive channel on yourprimetimesports.com.
Mm-hmm.
So last night we were in Blytheville for our first 5A East contest of the year. It was Beebe at Blytheville. Beebe got a sweep at Blytheville last night. They won both games handily. First game, the girls' game, they won by, well, they mercy ruled them, but it ended up being a 29-point deficit.
Well, Beebe and Paragould both swept.
Beebe and Paragould both swept, and Greene County Tech split with Forrest City. I have all those scores.
And Nettleton split.
Let's go over the girls' scores first and foremost. Oh, and by the way, well, we'll get into that in a minute. We got the magazines out. In case you live under a rock and didn't know that, we're going to get into that in a minute. So, the Beebe girls beat Blytheville 66-37. The Nettleton girls beat Wynne 79-53. You don't see a girls team score 79 very often. They put it on the Wynne Lady Yellowjackets. Paragould beat Batesville 50-29. And Greene County Tech over Forrest City, 56-43. So you got a four-way tie at the top after week one between Paragould and Nettleton.
Isn't that what I said last night? You laughed at me?
Beebe, it's true, though. Beebe and Greene County Tech. Now, in the boys, pretty much the same results except for Forrest City won that boys game. So the standings almost look identical as well,
right,
except that Forrest City has a win and Greene County Tech does not. The scores from the boys
Greene
game,
County Tech boys led most of that game right till the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and then let it get away from them.
Let it get away from them, sure did.
And that was at Forrest City, and that was a game that was scheduled to be played Tuesday night, and we were going to broadcast it, but they flip-flopped the schedule just a little bit, and now
did a little jig-jag jallywhack on us, didn't they?
Now the schedule has us covering Forrest City at Wynne Tuesday night. That's where we will be Tuesday night. Now, last night's scores, the one we were at, Beebe over Blytheville, 54-33. Paragould over Batesville easily, 67-40. And was that here at home or was that on the road in Batesville?
That was at Paragould.
That was in Paragould, okay. Forrest City, just like we said, 63. Greene County Tech, 56. Forrest City rallied to win that one. And then Nettleton, whose head coach will be here later on in the morning. Nettleton 69, Wynne 53. You know they're 14-1 overall.
Nettleton?
Yeah. They've only lost one game.
They're having a good year. I think I'll know more in a little while, but I think they were behind most of the game, and I think they had a cold shooting fourth quarter, and I'm talking about Wynne Yellowjackets because Coach Jones texted me last night at about, I had one eye shut, I know that. It was about 10:33, and I texted him back, and he was giving me the down low on the game.
I got you. First guest just walked in the door. We'll talk to him momentarily. So, the Nettleton Raiders obviously have the best schedule or the best record of anyone that plays in the 5A East Conference, the 14-1 overall record. We don't have all the overall records of all the teams in the conference right now because they just started playing conference ball. We're going to gather those up and have those on our next standings, which will be posted late Tuesday night. So we'll have the overalls along with their conference records. Now, one of the other things that has happened this week, and it also pertains to Nettleton, is the big Victor Dukes dunk. We're going to get more into that when Coach McCord gets here later on.
Yeah, we'll get more into that and probably show the video a couple times. So
you can't get enough of that video.
I like that video.
Now,
I was there. I actually seen it in live live performance, but man, it's just watching I don't know how many times I've watched the video. I'm like, wow.
It's amazing. It's a 10th grader. Well, we'll show it to you. One more thing before we get to our first guest is this right here. In fact, I want to switch cameras so you can get a better look at that right there. There you go. Whoops, there we go. Isn't that pretty? That is our basketball magazine. Just came out 2 days ago, and it's just in time for 5A East action.
7 young, wonderful ladies on that front cover, Paragould seniors.
And we're going to talk to their head coach first up this morning.
We sure are.
These are available at the schools that are in the 5A East. Who do they talk to at these particular schools, do you know?
Well, let's see. I would think you would see Coach Hickson or the Booster Club at Blytheville.
Okay.
The Booster Club or the concession stands at the home games at Beebe. Let me think a minute. I'm not sure. I'm sure they'll be set up at the gates at Wynne. Those were given to Coach Jones. Dr. Eccles will probably have his at the gates at Forrest City. And then Paragould, I'm not sure how they're setting theirs up.
Basically, though, it's being done at the games.
Yes, at the games. Is that, you'll ask a Booster Club member or someone some school official that you know, and I'm sure they can lead you to the right direction. I could have sold a bunch last night at Blytheville because I had people from BB asking me. And I did sell one, but I told the lady, I said, I really don't want to sell these because
it takes monies away from
the
groups that are selling
That's right. I said, they have 200, they have however many it was on the bus to take back with them. I gave them to Coach Ritchie. And I said, half of that money goes to your program, to your Booster Club. And I don't want to take away from that. And she said, well, I'll buy another one. I said, okay.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, at least one person in BB has one of the magazines right now.
Yeah, I had people. Yeah, I said, no.
Well, we've got, 10,000? How many thousands of
bunch.
these? Yeah, so there's plenty to go around. Just go to your local 5A East home game, and you should be able to find them in there somewhere. All right, we're going to take our first break, and when we come back, we are going to talk to our first guest. It's Jay Cook, the head coach of those girls right there, the Paragould Lady Rams, when we're back on YourPrimetimeSports.com.
You get big-time savings and hometown service. Always a bit Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. At Baird, there's a difference you will clearly see. You're always a VIP. Saving service, great selection too. Baird does it all for you.
Retirement? It's never looked so good. Welcome to Chateau on the Ridge Assisted Living in Paragould, Arkansas. Say hello to fine dining and down-home living, where around-the-clock security and peace of mind are always at your fingertips. And front row seats to the best shows, they're included. We call it Chateau on the Ridge. You can call it home. Call or visit today to get the whole scoop.
Do you need insurance? If the answer is yes, let Chris Robinson and his staff at Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency handle your needs. Whether it's auto, life, business, or planning for your retirement, Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency is ready to serve you and your family. Come by Chris Robinson Insurance Agency, 1211 West Court Street in Paragould.
At First National Bank, you have convenience right at your fingertips. And instant buying power. It's so easy. And when you're on the go, well, you know what to do. We understand the importance of now. First National Bank, the working bank for working people.
Welcome back to your PrimetimeSports.com. Clifton is sitting with our first guest.
I didn't catch
that was my fault.
Day.
I did that. Sorry.
Yeah. Now you tricking me. I'm with our first guest, Coach Jay Cook of the Paragould Lady Rams. Good morning. Glad to have you.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Let's start out talking about last night's game. I think you might have been just a little sluggish, but you pulled it off. And I think, did you play the whole bench?
No,
got a lot of players in?
I kept waiting for us to play well enough to play everybody, and it never got there. So we didn't ever get to clear it. But the way we were playing, I thought any time they could have, gone on a run and cut it to 10. In a conference play, 10-point rules is pretty important. So we had to leave everybody and stay with our rotations. But we got to win. And
that's the main thing. And
won by 20, and and all those positives. But without trying to go on a critical tangent here, we had 19 turnovers, and most of them were unforced. And we got to clean that up. We put them on the line 29 times.
Wow.
One kid we put on the line 14 times, 12 in the second half. Just didn't play very good defense in the second half on her in particular. And we have a certain. It's never been about winning and losing with us. It's about a standard of play, and we just weren't very satisfied with the way we played in the second half. So we got some things to clean up, but again, got to win, 1-0. Got the conference opener at home, and that's the important part.
Well, this is one of the questions that I've been wanting to ask you for a few weeks now, and it really leads into what I witnessed last Saturday against North Little Rock. I was at the game, but a lot of the community come to me and I said, man, what, have you seen the Lady Rams, or have you seen the Rams? And I said, yeah, and they're really, really doing good. But my point about the Rams is right now, or in the November, December non-conference schedule, it looked like a little bit of this, up and down and up and down. But I go to the game last Saturday, and you're playing an elite team out of North Little Rock, and man, them girls, they poured it on. I mean, I was impressed.
Yeah. There's a couple of things. Our non-conference schedule has been absolutely brutal, and we've been playing some really high-level, talented teams, really competitive teams, and which is a great thing. It's by design. That's why we do it. On the other hand, we're playing a bunch of kids, and we're playing a bunch of young kids that don't have a lot of experience. And sometimes when you we've got 6 kids that have played a ton of basketball for us, and then you've got 4 or 5 that are rookies. And when you start meshing that, sometimes it's not going to be pretty.
Right.
And especially when you're playing the caliber of opponents that we are, sophomores are going to look like sophomores sometimes, and inexperienced kids are going to look inexperienced, and so. But the positive is we've been able to do that. We've almost made ourselves play those kids a lot just to get them that experience. And we survived it. We were 8-3 going into last night, and again played a brutal non-conference schedule and had some success. So we hope it pays off in the long run, and hopefully we can continue to do that.
And that was kind of my point to the question is when you play those better ball clubs like Conway, North Little Rock, Pulaski Academy, those teams from Central Arkansas. Do you think the girls come out and they bring it to another level? Well, sometimes, maybe mentally.
I think it's natural to do that. Of course, as a coach and as you present it to your team, we don't care who it is.
Right.
We're going to play the game a certain way, and we're going to play at a certain level. But I mean, when North Little Rock walks in the door, if you can't watch them warm up and say, "I better bring it tonight," you're not paying attention. By the same token, Batesville's not as talented. They're not as athletic, and I thought we jumped on them and did the job. I just felt like once we got up, we didn't continue to play at that level, and that's the only disappointing part about last night.
Yeah, and I see that a lot with high school athletes and teams, that they sometimes go into a lull when they feel like they're playing maybe a team that they feel like before they ever get to the gym, well, we are to win this game.
Yeah.
I think maybe if we go back, which would be hard for me, as old as I am, but I think I thought that way sometimes as a teenager playing ball. So I think you get into that lull, and those things happen. So, but I've been really impressed. I think you have 2 sophomores. You can correct me. Abby Gibson, and there's another one coming off the bench quite a bit.
Corey
Bryant, yeah. Been really impressed with them. They're getting a lot of playing time. I'm still a real big, and probably always will be, Sydney Layrock fan.
Rightfully so.
I love to watch her play. She does a really good job, all-around basketball player. Who has really stepped up this year and impressed you?
Well, we're getting the same things from Savannah Walker as we always have.
Right.
She's still shooting 60% from the field. She's still scoring 10, 12 a game. She's still getting her 4 or 5 rebounds a game. She's just been a rock for us for 4 years now. So we're getting that. I think Carson Gill, our point guard, has been more assertive on the offensive end. Of course, she's seasoned like Savannah, and nothing gets to her, and there's nothing she hadn't seen. So she's been a little bit more assertive on the offensive end, getting more shots up. But I think the person that probably stands out to most people as far as who's kind of flown under the radar her whole career, and now is somebody that you watch play and you say she's a heck of a basketball player, is Rachel Dykes.
Yes.
She's really starting to score for us, and she's always been a great defender, great athlete. But when she's shooting it well, when she gets her feet set and it's knocking down the 3-point shot, she's pretty effective.
Well, and I meant to mention her, and she slipped my mind, but I remember last Saturday, Papa Jim and I'm speaking of Papa Jim Bowlin, were sitting there watching the game, and he leaned over and he said, "Who's that number 24?" I said, "That's Rachel Dykes." I said, "Let me tell you something, Pop." I said, "She's really improved since last year. She's impressive to watch.
Yep.
She's seems like her confidence level is really up there.
Yep.
You know, she'll drive to the bucket, she'll stop and shoot. You know, she makes good passes, and she's just learned to play the game a little smarter."
I use this analogy with her a lot, and if people that are listening or watching remember Jessica Greene.
Yes.
Jessica Greene was a fantastic athlete, and she was always a fantastic athlete. As a sophomore, she was an athlete that played basketball. As a senior, she was a heck of a basketball player that was a great athlete. And so it evolved from, she's not only an athlete, now she's learned how to play the game.
Right.
And I think you've seen that with Rachel as well.
I've definitely seen that myself, because, you know, I get to see quite a few games, mostly in the non-conference, because once we get into conference play, we're at Blytheville last night.
Yeah.
But we're all over the place. But I get to see a lot of games. So, yeah, I watched those girls last year, and I just, that's what I said last week. I said, she's really improved. I mean, she's become one of the go-to players, I call them, you know. So, now, who else do we have that's doing some good things on the floor for you?
When you talk about the core group of kids, we named 4, and then you go with Sarah Dykes and Haley Rogers. You know, those 6 kids are our main core players that have the most experience, that been through the wars. I think Haley Rogers has stepped up her game. Of course, Sarah Dykes is as solid as a rock, knows her role, does it well, great defender in the post, good passer, understands the game. But Haley has been very aggressive on both ends of the floor for us, coming off the bench, but she's playing as many minutes as anybody else. And so we feel like we got 6 solid starters, if you will,
right,
that we can depend on. And then you bring Alexis Benson, Abby Rogers, Corey Brown off the bench, and as those guys get seasoned and more experienced, then hopefully you've got 9 there that you can go with.
And for all of our viewers and that are watching this morning, he's got a lot more coming up. So Coach Cook is sitting here. He's got a good junior high squad, and Coach Smith does a great job with that group of girls. So you got some future setting there.
Yeah, people ask me all the time, and people really focus on this group of seniors. I mean, we got 7 of them.
Right.
4 of them are starters. And you know, what's it going to be like, you know, when those 7 seniors walk out the door? Well, obviously it's going to be different. You know? I mean, we've depended on those guys for a long time, and those, you know, those faces won't be out on the floor anymore. But you're right. I mean, it'll be different, but it'll be exciting. It'll be a great challenge to try to get a new group meshed when that time comes, and we're excited about that as well.
Now, is this your 3rd or 4th season?
It's my 5th.
Oh, 5th?
Yeah. Been 5.
See, I was living in Springdale when they hired you, so I've already let time get away from me. Wow, 5 years. Okay. Well, here's what I would label it when these 7 seniors walk out the door. They just left a tradition, and they're the foundation of this tradition, because girls basketball has always been good at Paragould, but for some reason it's really been exciting the last couple of years, and these girls will always have to say, hey, I was a part of that. I helped start that.
Well, I think that and then you even go back to, you know, my first couple of years when we really struggled to win games, and you know, those guys really paid a price. I mean, they really sacrificed to try to build something special before the wins started. You know, we had a group my first year that went 7-21 or 6-21 or something like that, and we felt like we were successful that year. Not because we won or lost any games, but just the way we approached every day and every game and how we operated day to day, and that's what we've always tried to focus on. And we knew that, you know, on those years where we had really good talent, if we had that foundation laid, that we would have some success in the win-loss column. But you know, it goes way back. I mean, you know, we've had kids come through senior classes that have really sacrificed so we could do what we're doing right now.
Right. Well, let's take a 2-3 minute break. 2-minute break, and we'll come back with Coach Cook, and we'll kind of get into the what's coming up part of the season, okay?
You get big time savings and hometown service. Always a bit Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. At Baird, there's a difference you will clearly see. You're always a VIP. Saving service, great selection too. Baird does it all for you.
Retirement? It's never looked so good. Welcome to Chateau on the Ridge Assisted Living in Paragould, Arkansas. Say hello to fine dining and down-home living, where around-the-clock security and peace of mind are always at your fingertips. And front row seats to the best shows, they're included. We call it Chateau on the Ridge. You can call it home. Call or visit today to get the whole scoop.
Do you need insurance? If the answer is yes, let Chris Robinson and his staff at Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency handle your needs. Whether it's auto, life, business, or planning for your retirement, Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency is ready to serve you and your family. Come by Chris Robinson Insurance Agency, 1211 West Court Street in Paragould.
At First National Bank, you have convenience right at your fingertips. And instant buying power. It's so easy. And when you're on the go, well, you know what to do. We understand the importance of now. First National Bank, the working bank for working people.
Welcome back to Batten's Donuts and Bakery. Everybody wave for the camera. Nobody going to wave this morning? There we go. There's some wavers.
They heard you.
Yeah. We've got a crowd starting to form here at Batten's Donuts. And meanwhile, Clifton is sitting with Coach Jay Cook of the Paragould Lady Rams.
Yeah, we're going to talk some more basketball. Now, you told me just a minute ago, David, that you had a question you wanted to ask him, so jump right in.
Oh, it's a silly question. I was just going to be funny, and you don't think it's funny, so I'm not even going to do it.
No, I've already brought it up, so go ahead and ask it.
I wanted to find out if Coach Cook thought that the Dykes twins were so good on the basketball floor because they are my nieces.
And I'm going to answer that.
I know the answer, so don't answer it. Never mind.
Hey, center us up a little bit better there, will you? All right, so now we go into next week. Every week hereafter, we're playing 2 games a week. Who we got next week?
Blytheville home.
Move that. Yeah, there you go.
Blytheville home and Beebe on the road.
And let's see. I think we are covering that game. Paragould at Beebe.
Good.
So we'll be there. Yeah, that'll be a good one. We'll have that on live internet TV at yourprimetimesports.com. But Paragould is like Greene County Tech, our other school here in the community. They have a good fan following base. So I'm assuming that a lot of people will make that road trip, especially on a Friday night. You ought to have a good crowd down there, don't you think?
I wouldn't doubt it a bit. Beebe, I think, is probably thought of as one of the top teams in our conference, and early in the year that'll be an indicator of maybe how the rest of the conference season goes. So yeah, I figure there'll be a few people make that trip.
Well, Coach Ritchie, Coach Ritchie and I are big buddies, and he was inquiring about you last night, and I just told him, I said, watch out. So, but anyway, no, that's going to be a good game. We have 15 televised games. One of those was last night. And I think every game that Dave put together as our schedule is good quality basketball games. So I'm looking forward to that. Actually, I'll be coming back from Fort Smith Friday, so I'll get to stop by there on the way home. Hopefully I won't get held up anywhere in traffic or anything else, but I have a sales meeting next week. So, but let's talk a little bit about, because I know you're probably at all the games, if you can be, to watch them, because they're going to be coming through your system one of these days. Let's talk about your junior high squad. They're having another good year.
Yeah, that group is has kind of been a lost group coming through. There's not been a bunch of kids come through in that particular class, and there's a bunch of kids in the 8th grade class, and there's been a bunch of kids in this sophomore class that people have kind of paid attention to. But this group of 9th graders kind of been lost, and as 9th graders, only 4 of them, and they're all contributing. They're all have become really good players, and they're having a good year. I think.
Now, is that Kiana Cole and
Kiana Cole?
Okay, Kiana.
Carly Midget.
There you go.
Sydney Walker and Braxton Burnside.
Yeah, I forget about Sydney, and she's going to follow right in her sister's footsteps, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
And the Burnside girl, from what I've seen, which is not much in junior high, but from what I've been told, she's a pretty awesome basketball player.
She is a very awesome, whatever she chooses to do.
Is that right?
She could be one of the best athletes ever come through Paragould.
Wow.
She's whatever she decides to do. If they're keeping score, she's going to try to kill you, and she's a terrific athlete on top of that.
I tell Coach Smith all the time when I see him, I said, dude, you walked in here and had a pot of gold laid in your palm of your hands.
Well, I tell you what, he's really enjoying it.
Yes, he is.
He's another guy that's done nothing but coach boys his whole life, and kind of like me, probably would have never chosen to, but now that he's in the middle of it, I think he's in heaven. I think he loves those girls, and those girls really respect him, and there's something about a bunch of girls when you get them to believe in something. It's just different.
Well, and they do. They believe in y'all's systems and what y'all instruct, and I do know this. You can see it in their eyes. They care. They care about their coach. They care about their assistant coaches. It's like one big family. Yeah. And that means a lot to I don't care what kind of sport you're playing, when you have that communication and that respect for one another, you don't have that turmoil, and everybody works together. I seen that with our friend Bill Taylor the other night. Coach and I were sitting together at the NEA, and I think every kid, even kids that weren't even on the basketball team, I'm talking little kids, but all the basketball players and even some of the cheerleaders all came by and hugged his neck and shook his hand. And I told him, I said, but dude, that's got to mean a lot, because they cared about him and when he was there. And so, those things mean a lot to a coach, and it helps you do your job much better.
No question. We had just an example. We played Jonesboro before Christmas one Friday night, and of course the game started, and we didn't necessarily play that well, but came up with a win. And I went to the locker room, and I was in my, post-game, how am I going to approach this mode? And I looked up, and there were 5 seniors last year's seniors were standing there behind everybody. And, you know, when those kids come back, you know, it's just really special. You know, it means so much to them, even after the fact, that they'll come back and want to be a part of it. Had 2 kids from my first team 5 years ago, my first class of seniors. 2 of them were at the game last night. So, and came by the locker room and hugged everybody's neck. So, you know, that's what it's all about. I mean, when you really get down to it, that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about, building tradition and keeping everything intact. And then when that alumni comes back and comes to the dressing room or comes by the coach's office or sitting there in the stands cheering their former team on, it means a lot. So I think Paragould has actually set the table now, and I like what I see, you know, as far as junior high coaches, senior high coaches. You know, they brought Coach Lindsey in. He's doing a tremendous job. It seems like the boys have bought into his system. They're having a good year to this point and started out good. So I think everything is involving, you know, starting to be put, the puzzles or pieces are being put together, you know.
I agree. You know, and again, there's going to be good years and bad years. You know, you're going to have more talent some years than others. But if you establish you know, a set of principles and a set of standards that you can hold on to and live up to, or try to live up to every year, there's success in losses. You know, I mean, in years where you don't win as much. And,
right.
And so that's, you know, we try to hold on to that. You know, there's going to be years where we can't quite be as good as everybody else, but we can still play the game a certain way, and we can still, you know, maintain a certain level of play, a certain level of competition, and if we'll do that, I think we'll have success.
Well, and you can function outside the community, have good character, and things that, because I read good things all the time about kids going and helping the elderly or doing, matter of fact, I'll bring this one up. You may know who they are. I don't know who they are. But a lady wrote a letter to the editor a couple of weeks ago about 3 Paragould boys stopped by because she was out in the driveway shoveling snow, and they stopped and got out of their car and did it for her and didn't even charge her.
I'll be dang.
And she said they were Paragould students, and I read that, and she was just thanking them because she didn't know who they were.
Yeah.
But I thought, wow, that's pretty cool.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, that's good stuff. But she said they were Paragould students, so I'm going to believe what she wrote to the letter to the editor. So, but anyway, yeah, that's, you know, those are the things you're looking for.
Sure.
But I look forward to seeing, you know, more games, and I'm going to see how many games we have. Let's see. We got next Friday at Beebe, and then we have on January the 22nd, Nettleton at Paragould. Oh, we're going to do one at your place. We don't usually do home games. How'd I let that one slide by? Good, you'll save me gas. Paragould at Forrest City. Did I miss one? Yeah, Paragould, Blytheville.
Batesville, too.
And okay, we got about 5 of them, don't we? Hot dog. That's good. I love watching y'all play. So, well, Coach Lindsey just showed up, and always about before we get off here, how was Christmas?
Oh, it's fantastic. Well, you know, I've got 3 young ones, so
I'm fixing to bring that up.
I mean, you know, when you got 3 young ones at the house, it's, you know, it's always exciting.
He's got to be a pleasant thing with 3 little girls on Christmas Day, and I thought of that this morning. I thought, I'm going to ask Coach Kick how Christmas was, because that's got to be. I seen them out at halftime last Saturday while y'all were in the dressing room playing North Little Rock. They were out there shooting. One of them couldn't hardly get it up there.
Not yet.
But I guess the taller one, the older one.
JC.
And so now they have some really good DNA on both sides. So what do you think?
We're going to let them do what they want to do.
There you go. So
and we're going to be happy.
There you go.
As long as they're doing something.
That's right. You got anything to say, Dave?
I was going to tell you, thanks for Coach Jay Cook showing up, and we're going to take a break.
Yeah, okay.
All right, we're going to take a 4-minute break while we get Coach Lindsey in here situated, and we'll be right back here on your PrimetimeSports.com.
Okay.
Do you need insurance? If the answer is yes, let Chris Robinson and his staff at Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency handle your needs. Whether it's auto, life, business, or planning for your retirement, Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency is ready to serve you and your family. Come by Chris Robinson Insurance Agency, 1211 West Court Street in Paragould.
You get big-time savings and hometown service. Always a bit Dodge Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. Out there's a difference you will clearly see. You're always a VIP. Saving service, great selection too. Bev does it all for you.
At First National Bank, you have convenience right at your fingertips. And instant buying power. It's so easy. And when you're on the go, well, you know what to do. We understand the importance of now. First National Bank, the working bank for working people.
When you feel bad and it's after regular office hours, turn to CR Doc. Here's Dr. Roger Cagle.
At CR Doc, we offer more than the standard family medicine practice. We have extended office hours with on-site lab and x-ray, as well as casting and suturing capabilities, giving you an alternative to those crowded emergency rooms for all your minor injuries and accidents that need fast, complete medical attention. Appointments are available but not necessary.
CR Doc in the King Carroll Suites on West Kings Highway in Paragould in front of Walmart.
At CR Doc, we are patient people.
Retirement? It's never looked so good. Welcome to Chateau on the Ridge Assisted Living in Paragould, Arkansas. Say hello to fine dining and down-home living, where around-the-clock security and peace of mind are always at your fingertips. And front row seats to the best shows, they're included. We call it Chateau on the Ridge. You can call it home. Call or visit today to get the whole scoop.
Mr. T's Riverside Cafe in Cardinal, Missouri for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Open 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Join us after the game for a pizza or our delicious hickory smoked barbecue. Just a short drive across the Kahlua-colored waters of the St. Francis River at the Arkansas-Missouri state line in the scenic resort town of Cardinal, Missouri.
Mr. T's at Riverside.
Kavanaugh Kia's pre-owned superstore. Your one-stop car shop to find the vehicle you deserve. Every make and model is right here on our lot. Chevy, Ford, Toyota, Nissan, Lincoln, Cadillac, and more. With a huge selection of cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. We also have a great variety of certified pre-owned Kias with America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. You'll never have to drive anywhere else than Kavanaugh Kia's pre-owned superstore. Visit us today on Stadium Boulevard, just south of the bypass. Or online at KavanaughKia.com.
We opened our maximum free checking account online. It took less than 15 minutes.
With Focus Bank, you can easily open your maximum free checking or Max Savers account online. And with mobile banking, you'll always stay in control. Whether you're looking for a free checking account, interest-bearing account, or rewards checking account, Focus Bank has a solution for you.
Mobile banking with Focus Bank makes our life easier.
Visit FocusBank.com and sign up for a new account with mobile banking today.
Hi, I'm Middle Rock Lemon. And when I'm in Northeast Arkansas, when I watch sports, I watch all my sports on YourPrimeTimeSports.com. You should too.
All right, welcome back to YourPrimeTimeSports.com. Guest number 2 here on the Double G Sports Talk Saturday show is Coach Ben Lindsey. Clifton.
Good morning, Coach. Let me see if we get that microphone back up there closer to my mouth. How's everything going now that you got that first win in the...
I feel a lot better this morning than I did yesterday.
You sleep a lot better, don't you?
You do.
It's amazing.
Yep.
Well, Coach Lindsey, if you don't know and you don't join us as often as we would like for you to, he's the new basketball coach at Paragould for the Paragould Rams. And I'm going to quit using that word new because now he is... 9-2, 10-2.
He's 8.
8-2.
He's all broke in now. He's all worn in.
That's why, because he's 8-2. I'm gonna quit using the word new.
Second best overall record in the 5A East Conference, I believe.
Well,
Nettleton's only one better.
I'm proud of him. He's impressed me, and it seems like the kids have bought into your system. And you had a little bit of a layoff during the Christmas break. Y'all chose not to go to Mountain Home because of the almost 2 feet of snow we got across the state. So it kind of put you in a situation you didn't handle. You didn't play for what, 2 weeks?
Something like that. It was. We played at Searcy on that Friday, the week we got out of school, and then we didn't play again until what I guess last night.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a layoff, but one thing that was great, we got to practice during that time and got to put in some new things and to really work on some stuff. So it was good because you're gonna show some new stuff during conference, and it was good to get to work on some things.
Do you speaking of that, when you are in, say we're fixing to spend the next 2 months in the conference play, and hopefully that'll be longer for you also when we go into March. Do you implement any new items during that time, or do you try to do it before then and not throw too much at the young players?
No, I mean, sorry, between the cold weather and losing my voice last night, it's I'm trying to get it back.
Everybody else has it too.
No, I'll try to implement some new stuff just because I didn't want to up until this point because the guys were learning so much as it was. I just wanted to let them get good at what we were doing. And now when you start putting new stuff in, it's not overwhelming to them. They've gotten pretty good at what we've been doing. And you put something new in, and it's not such of a, oh God, what was this? What was that? So now you can to me, I think these guys, they can put stuff in, a little easier now.
And I've always thought this, so this is a good time to ask this question, and I probably have asked it sometime in my lifetime, just forgot about it. Let's say you've got 5 games under your belt, and you're coming up on an opponent that you know is going to be a good game, tough game, and you really want to win it. Would you spend the week before you play that opponent maybe throwing in something that they have not seen? Because I know all you guys switch tapes and pass tapes around, and are probably DVDs now, but and I know you can go to our archives. If we have done that game, you're going to view the whole game. I have people call me and ask me, hey, can I, coaches, and I said, sure, it's there. So to watch someone play and look at their schemes is pretty simple. So would you throw something new in on a team like that? Maybe
it's possible.
Yeah,
it's possible.
I think a lot of coaches do that.
It just it depends on the matchup, what you feel like you can do best against them, and if it's best throwing something out that they haven't seen, if you feel like that's going to be to your advantage, or if you feel like what you've been doing, you just need to do it well. It just depends on who you're playing and how you match up with them.
Well, I had seen you about a week ago, and I walked up to you and I told you, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you again, I'm impressed with Brittingham.
Aren't we all?
Oh man, let me tell you something. I was sitting up high the other night, just kind of wanted to get away from the crowd, and him and his grandpa come walking by, and I punched the guy beside me, and I said, keep an eye on that kid right there. I said, he's a dandy. He goes, who is that? And I told him, and so yeah, I'm a Brittingham fan. So what did he have last night?
He had 25 points. He had an amazing game. He was 8 for 8 from the field, 9 for 10 from the free throw line, and I know he had double-digit rebounds, and he probably had upwards of 5-6 blocks.
Wow, yeah. He had a game.
He did. He had a special game last night.
Well, he's just fun to watch. So I'm telling everyone, if you live close to Paragould or in the Paragould area, and Paragould's at home or even on the road and you want to follow him, go watch Chase Brittingham. He is fun to watch. Now, the whole team's fun to watch, but this kid seems to kind of light the place up, doesn't he, a little bit?
He can. His, I think what people fall in love with him about is, he's a little more athletic than the rest of them. Sometimes he'll give you that ooh and ah on that dunk or that block shot or rebound, so that he kind of, has a little bit of that extra flair to him, I think, that people like, that kind of separates him from the rest of them because they all play so hard.
You know what else I like about him? I like that he's a good kid.
He's a phenomenal kid.
He's not flashy. He's not arrogant. He's just a good kid. You see him walking with his grandpa the other night, and I run into him every now and then. He's a yes sir, no sir, polite young man, and I like that, And then when he steps on that floor, he's going to take care of business.
He's not going to back down from anybody.
That's right.
And it's funny you say that about a yes sir, no sir. When you talk to him, like when I'm trying to explain something to him, he is so much yes sir that I wish sometimes he'd give me a little more feedback. Like, instead of just, are you just saying yes, sir, because that's what I want to hear, or do you really understand what I'm saying? You know, he's just, I mean, he's going to look me right in the eye and he's going to say, yes, sir.
Yeah.
No matter what. That's the type of kid he is.
He is a good kid. So you're fortunate to have an athlete like that you know that you can go home every night and you don't have to worry about him.
No.
So
and every kid I put on that floor is like that.
Yeah, you do. You really do. For the first time in a long time, you have a group of kids that seem like a really, really good bunch of kids. You know, they just want to come and play basketball. They're not out here to flash or show off or anything. They just, you know, I remember several years ago, and this has to be, it's got to be 12 to 15 years ago. Paragould players would come out of the dressing room to warm up, and they'd have one red sock on and one blue sock on and all these wristbands, and then they'd get beat 20. And I'm like, you know what? Before you start doing all that, how about getting a win? You know, they just kind of got a little flashy for me, you know.
Yeah, that's not my style.
Not mine either. I'm kind of traditional, you know. So
I am too. I heard a guy once say, "A rickety ride's better than a smooth walk."
There you go.
So
there you go. Well, let's talk about some of the other players. You got Chase Garner. How's he coming along for you? I know last time you and I talked, I think it was halftime of a game. You felt like he was just buying into your system, and how's he coming along now?
He's always, you know, I know what you're saying. I don't want to take anything away from him saying he hadn't bought in, because he has from day one. He's just been, I think his role is a little bit different now. I felt, you know, I wasn't here in the past and hadn't seen him play, but just from hearing and so forth, it was almost like he tried to carry a lot of the weight on his shoulders.
Yeah, and he did, and I agree with that because I've seen him play a lot.
And he doesn't have to do that as much this year, and that's not really what he does, in my opinion. That's not him at his best. We've got other guys that can help create for him, and that's when he's at his best, when he's not trying to do it himself and letting it come to him, because the kid can shoot the basketball.
Oh, he is a fine shooter.
And he's been doing, you know, it's funny, I tell Chase this. I wouldn't say anything out of here that I wouldn't say to him, and I've already told him, I go, man, all I heard about was how much you shoot the basketball, is that you will let it go, and I can't get him to shoot enough. He's trying to make, you know, plays for other people, and I'd rather him sit back and let people make plays for him.
Yeah.
And now that he's starting to do that, he's having a lot better production.
Well, and maybe now that you're going into that conference play, maybe he's found that happy medium, that balance of, you know, when to shoot it, when to pass it. Because you know what? Assists are just as important.
They are.
As the bucket.
Absolutely.
And when a player figures that out, that, well, you know what? I put this in this magazine for a reason. I don't know that I can find it real quick, but it talks about, yeah, right here. Here it is. Passing the ball is what I like best, because if I can get the ball to a guy and he scores, and I see the gleam in his eye when he's running back down the court, it's the greatest feeling in the world.
Yep.
Who said that?
Larry Bird.
Wow. And I put that in there for a reason, because when players learn to play the rounded part of the game, you know, I'm going to get my 20, I'm going to take my shots, but I'm also going to get the passes to my teammates, I'm going to get my steals, I'm going to get my rebounds. That's when you become a well-rounded basketball player.
Yep, absolutely.
So anyway, let's talk about now another kid I like, and he's just gutty. I mean, just right down gutty, the Hoggard kid.
Yes, he is. Yes.
I mean, he's just all man.
He is the ultimate competitor, no doubt.
Yep. And he's having a good year for you. He's just a sophomore. All right, am I right?
He is, and I believe I've said this before. I catch myself getting mad at him every once in a while when he makes a mistake. He doesn't make many, but when he does, I catch myself getting mad at him, and especially this summer. And I'd have to sit back down. We were at team camps, and I had to sit back down and swallow my pride and say, the kid's just a sophomore, because he doesn't play like it. He has the mind of a senior.
And he doesn't look like a sophomore.
No.
And the thing that I like about him is, you know, and obviously I'm from old school, because back then this is the way you did it. I seen him re-injure, maybe not enough to have to leave him out of the lineup, but he did hurt it that night against Manila, y'all's first game of the year and first home game. He hits the game-winning shot, but earlier in the game, he re-injured that knee that he had been off of for, 2 or 3 weeks right out of football.
Yep.
And he didn't quit. And ends up hitting a half-court shot and winning the game for y'all.
Yep.
And that's why I like him so well, is because he's not going to give up. It's going to take more than that knee or that short amount of pain he had at that moment to set him down.
Yeah, he's one of those special kids. You can talk about competitiveness, being a competitor and all that stuff, but the average person doesn't understand what someone like him is like. They don't understand what drives him, what pushes him, and how tough he really is.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. So, Noah, tell us. Big, 6'4", 6'5", Noah?
Noah's probably about 6'4".
Yeah, and so is he a starter, or has he come off the bench for you?
He's starting for us right now.
Okay.
Noah has started every game but the first one, I believe. He is Noah's a good complement to Chase Brittingham. They fit pretty well together. They're both very different, and that really helps. Noah, we've gotten a lot of production out of Noah so far. We're getting a lot of mileage out of him.
Well, and you got a state champion, overall state champion golfer there that knows how to win and likes to win. And obviously, when you're playing golf, it's just you and the
That's right.
ball.
You got to have mental toughness in golf.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And
golfers out there know that. And I think my quote maybe in here was, I don't care if it's checkers, chess, baseball, whatever it is, a winner is a winner.
That's right. And I think that is in this magazine. I remember that now. Michael Stedham, the general.
Yes. He I think in here also, I called him a utility guy, like in baseball. Mike's going to play wherever we need Mike to play. Mike may bring the ball down the floor. He may guard their best player. He may go guard somebody in the post. And Mike may stand out behind the three-point line, or Mike may go post somebody up. Whatever we need him to do, he's going to do. He's, like I said, he's like a utility player in baseball.
He's a quiet kid, and he's a good kid. And but I've also seen him when he's come out for a couple of minutes for a breather on the sideline. He's cheering over there too.
Oh, absolutely.
He does it all.
He is a team guy. He is quiet, but he is a team guy, and he's a great kid.
So now, who's our fifth young man here? I've overlooked somebody. Is it? Dexter.
Dexter.
Yeah, I love Dexter. Man, he's a high-flying Dexter Thompson.
Dexter Thompson, another one of those very, very tough physical kids. He, before we talk about basketball, I got to say something about him in football.
Okay.
I think Dexter came out, didn't play his junior year, or didn't play his sophomore year, hadn't played football in a while. I guess he came out his junior year and played, and I got to see him this year as a wide receiver, as a senior, and no disrespect to anybody else out there, but just of what I saw this year, he was the best wide receiver that I saw in person this year.
He's got some hands, doesn't he?
He runs perfect routes.
Yeah.
And he has some great hands. And I mean, we're a ground and pound team in football, and so when we're throwing to one guy, and they know it.
Yeah.
And he's still catching them.
I seen him. I think it was this year. It could have been last year, but I know Dave and we were covering. I know it was this year because we didn't start doing live internet TV till this year. So, or when I say this year, 2012 football season. But anyway, there was one catch he made. It may have been over at Blytheville. I don't remember. I'm looking at David here to help me out. But he went way up in the air and caught the pass and was drilled from down low, and landed on that backside. And I thought, wow, what a catch. And you just don't see a lot of high school kids do that.
Well, we had them at Beebe and at Blytheville. It could have been either one of those, and they won both of those games.
Yeah, because Dave and I kept saying, Paragould needs to take us on all road games because we're bringing luck to them.
I'll tell you what, you do that for us, you're welcome every game.
Well, I think every game that I've been to watch you play, you've won. So, and you've had a good outing so far. You beat Searcy twice, once at home, once on the road. So you beat Manila at home.
They beat Pulaski Academy right on your primetime sports.
Yeah. Who else have we beat and that I'm not aware of, or I'm probably aware of, just forgot?
Beat Cabot.
Cabot, yeah. I was thinking of Conway. I had a C in there. I just couldn't.
Marmaduke. Watson Chapel. Batesville.
Chapel's a good program, and they're tough, yeah.
Absolutely. My dad is athletic director at Magnolia, longtime basketball coach there, and Watson Chapel is now in their conference, and he felt like Watson Chapel would be one of the most, if not the most talented team in their conference, and they were. And they were athletic and talented, and they gave us all we wanted, for sure.
And that gives you somewhat of a preview in case you happen to make the state playoffs.
Right.
You've seen somebody from that conference, perhaps the best that conference has to offer. You've already played them. You've already beat them.
Well, that's, yeah, I mean, it was a definite a confidence booster for us to play a team athletic like that and be able to hang on and win. But, that state tournament's a long ways away. Like we were joking before I came on the air a while ago. We're 1-0 in conference, so I feel a little bit better that I know we're going to win at least one conference game. We may not win another one, but we got one.
You realize you're in the four-way tie, right?
Yeah.
It's a log jam at the top.
We are in first place right now.
That's right.
I'm proud about that.
That's right. So, well, we're going to take us, 2 minutes?
2 minute break.
2 minute break, and we'll return in 2 minutes with Coach Ben Lindsey. And we're here live at Batten's Donuts on YourPrimetimeSports.com.
Retirement? It's never looked so good. Welcome to Chateau on the Ridge Assisted Living in Paragould, Arkansas. Say hello to fine dining and down-home living, where around-the-clock security and peace of mind are always at your fingertips. And front row seats to the best shows, they're included. We call it Chateau on the Ridge. You can call it home. Call or visit today to get the whole scoop.
Do you need insurance? If the answer is yes, let Chris Robinson and his staff at Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency handle your needs. Whether it's auto, life, business, or planning for your retirement, Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency is ready to serve you and your family. Come by Chris Robinson Insurance Agency, 1211 West Court Street in Paragould.
At First National Bank, you have convenience right at your fingertips. And instant buying power. It's so easy. And when you're on the go, well, you know what to do. We understand the importance of now. First National Bank, the working bank for working people.
You get big time savings and hometown service. Always a bit Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep and Ram. At Baird there's a difference you will clearly see. You're always a VIP. Saving service, great selection too. Baird does it all for you.
All right, welcome back to YourPrimetimeSports.com. We're still sitting with guest number 2. It's Coach Ben Lindsey of the Paragould Rams.
Yeah, Coach Ben Lindsey, and always a pleasure to have him here at on Saturday morning talk show. Let's talk a little bit. I kind of did this with Coach Cook because I kind of want to know myself. What's your junior high program doing right now? What's it looking like?
We got great numbers, 7th grade through 9th grade. We've got really good numbers. 9th grade's played a lot of stiff competition so far. Their first 2 games were against Jonesboro schools, and we know what kind of basketball program Jonesboro
MacArthur
has.
and Annie Camp.
Yeah, they've had to play Marion. They played Forrest City the other night. They haven't won as many as they would like to, but they've played everybody pretty close, with the exception of maybe one game. And got a few kids in the 9th grade that got a chance to be really good players. And we got a 7th grade class that's got a lot of talent. They don't understand how good they might be one day. Out of the 5 starters, I think in the 7th grade, 4 of them are anywhere from 5'10" to 6 foot.
Well, hopefully these kids are coming to these high school games and watching their the senior high boys play, because right now, and I'm going to say it for the second time today, right now I think, and I don't know who should get the credit. Is this you, or is this just the parents, or whatever? But these kids are the best kids that I've seen in a long time. And when I say that, I mean on and off the floor. They just come to play the game of basketball. One of my coaching friends, and will be one of your opponents later on in the season, told me the other day, he says, dude, they're big. They're big, and they're going to be tough. And so I thought that was a pretty good compliment. And, I mean, he was looking at the magazine. He goes, 6'4", 6'5". But you got to do something with that size.
Right.
You know, you could have 6'5", 6'7", 6'9" all day long, but if they can't shoot the basketball or put it in the hole, it don't do you no good.
Yeah, that kind of, he made the same comment to me. I saw him one night, and it kind of tells me a little bit about the lack of size we might have had here, for a while, because when I look at us out there, I think, man, we're not very big. But it's we're not tiny, but we're not huge by any stretch of the imagination. And I think it's a compliment. Most nights when we play during warm-ups, when you look at the other side, and then you look down at us, we look outmatched. And then when we play, that toughness. That's what I tell our kids. Our toughness. Some people are big. Some people are quick. Some people are athletic. That's what they hang their hat on. Well, we hang our hat on our toughness.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Go ahead. You got to.
Well, you keep an eye on what the other teams in the conference have done during their non-conference schedule, I'm sure. You have to be a hermit to not know what happened Monday night with the Nettleton and Manila game. The dunk is what they're saying, the Victor Dukes dunk for Nettleton. Have your kids seen it, and do they have anything to say about it?
Yeah, I mean, my kids have seen it. I mean, it's an impressive dunk. It is, no question. I mean, my hat's off to him. I'd have been proud if that was me. So that's nationwide on ESPN and everything, and that's the 5A East Conference that was represented on there basically. So I didn't know if your kids were keeping an eye on that or not. If they know. Oh yeah, that's every kid's little. From 5 years old to when they get done playing basketball, everybody wants to dunk. So yeah, when you can do that or you see something like that, yeah, that's big news. Absolutely.
Well, I'm going to say this: he didn't make ESPN, but he made Paragould history because Birmingham had 2 in one game.
Yeah, that's right. The game that we had with Pulaski Academy.
That's right.
That's the first time a single player has ever had 2 dunks for Paragould in a game.
Well, no, don't say the first time, because if you go back to my era. I know Todd Dudley and Barry Davis had 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I had gotten my information from one of the Gill girls. And
maybe since they've been Rams. Okay.
Okay.
But I've never seen 2 dunks in a game, and I don't know that I've seen 1 in the last 10 years from a Paragould player. So it was exciting. It brought the crowd off their feet. It didn't make ESPN, but it sure did make some noise in that gym.
It does wonders for our ratings too. When they know they're going to see some dunks in a game, they'll watch the game.
Oh yeah.
Since then he's tried to dunk 3 times. He tried to dunk twice on somebody at Searcy and got fouled. Tried to dunk on somebody last night and got fouled. So
they're going to try to keep him out of the.
He's trying to get it.
Well, and they're fun to watch, and that's probably the most impressive dunk that I've ever seen down at the NEA the other night.
I would have to say that's probably one of the better high school dunks you'll see right now.
A 10th grader, Coach. Yeah. A 10th grade. You can't beat that.
But that's not going to label them as the top 4 in the conference or whatever. But it does. He has worldly attention now, and it's good for him, because all of a sudden that could get you some big-time colleges saying, hey, let's go take a look at this kid.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you see his athleticism, being a former college coach, when you see that kid's athleticism, if nothing else, you're going to think, the kid's a D1 athlete. What else can he do?
Yeah.
So you're going to look at him. And I was thinking back to the question you asked me towards the beginning about maybe doing different stuff that other people haven't seen, during the year, maybe doing something different, as you take on a different opponent. And last time my dad won a state championship in '97, he 4 games in the from the state tournament to the finals. They played Watson Chapel, Morrilton, Hot Springs, Lake Hamilton in that order, and he played 4 different defenses, 4 different games.
Wow.
So
well, when you can do that, and you can get the players to buy into that, and remember to make those, some athletes. I'm not going to tell you who, because he's a friend of mine, and which I've told him in front of people, but I'm not going to do it over the air. But one time in high school football at Paragould, we had a fullback that just could barrel over anybody and everybody. He was really, really good running back, but he couldn't remember his plays, and we'd have to tell him. We'd even have to line him up, okay?
All right.
Well, one day Coach comes out, and he takes a black magic marker, and he put an L on this hand and an R on this hand. So sometimes you have players you can't remember. So when you have them buying in and you're able to change things like that because you have some maybe 3.5 to 4.0 students,
right?
It's a good thing to do. So, but yeah, it's Paragould's. I think is going to have a good season, a good year. You got a good round group of young men, just like Coach Cook has a good, solid group of girls. You're building a tradition. I think you came in at the right time. You probably didn't even know what you were getting into when you got here, but you sure were willing to stick your neck out there and go after it.
Yep.
And like I told you, I've been at one of the basketball games a couple weeks ago. I've been bragging on you, been talking about you, and so I'm looking forward to. I think we're going to be at Beebe next Friday. Don't you go to Beebe next Friday night?
Next Friday, yes.
Yeah, we're covering that game, so we'll be down there with you guys, and do me a favor, bring me a roster.
A roster.
Tell Coach Cook and yourself to bring me and Dave 2 printed rosters each. So when we have all this information in front of us, we can talk about it without digging for it.
Gotcha.
If you have any stats by that time, bring those too. You're only going to be into 2 games, so the stats shouldn't be too hard.
Before you go, what is your overall record again starting from today?
He said 8-2.
I believe 8-2.
Okay, all right.
It could be 9. I believe it's 8 though.
I'm trying to gather up everybody's records so we can put their overall records on your Primetime Sports as well. And so now that you're only playing conference games for the rest of the way, it'll be real easy to keep up with.
Yeah, I want to bring that up. It's really important. And last night, everybody did a great job. We like to post finals of games or at the end of each quarter, at least the halftime score, any stats that you may have, things of players, anything, awards, anything that goes on. I mean, we're a media coverage, so we like to get it up and on there as quickly as possible. And last night was awesome. I had I had someone from Wynne, I had someone from Paragould, I had someone from Greene County Tech, Coach Bowlin's wife, Kathy. I had someone everywhere sending me those scores. And boy, as we're painting the picture and doing the play-by-play of the actual Blytheville Beebe game, Dave's over there typing that in. We're getting it up there immediately. So we're kind of trying to stay ahead of everybody. So
I saw that. I guess it was Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't tweet. I don't do Facebook. I don't do any of that stuff. I get a text message. That's about all I do.
Right.
I'm like an old man. My junior high coach, Jace Watson, came out and was looking on his phone, telling me all these scores. And I go, how do you know this? He said, Twitter. I was like, and then we looked on there, and it was y'all. And I was like, wow, I guess I need to at least, I guess you can create a Twitter name or something so I can follow y'all and get scores, I guess.
Listen, it took my friend Bill Taylor, he just told me the other night, it took him, 5, 6, 7 years? How long's Facebook been out?
About 6, 7 years.
Okay. He finally got a Facebook account.
He's beating me.
But he's not going to get on there. He won't have no 1,200 friends.
Right.
I can tell you, okay? It's going to be a select few. And he's not going to get on there and play.
I don't have 200 people probably want to be my friends.
Taylor won't even friend me.
So create you a Facebook, link it with your Twitter account. You can get one of them students to help you do that, and then you can get all your information from us. Be that simple. And you know what? If someone asks you for a friend request, just say, not now. You don't even have to accept it. So you're in control of that. Listen, Coach, it's been great having you this morning. It's been a great conversation. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys play live next Friday night. Keep up the hard work, and tell the boys we're rooting for them here at yourprimetimesports.com, okay?
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You betcha. And hopefully you will come back in maybe a few weeks, and we'll talk some more and see where you're at in the conference standings, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll be back in 4 minutes. We have Coach Scott Bowlin, the head coach of Greene County Tech Golden Eagles, to join us, and we are live at Batten's Bakery here on yourprimetimesports.com.
Do you need insurance? If the answer is yes, let Chris Robinson and his staff at Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency handle your needs, whether it's auto, life, business, or planning for your retirement. Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency is ready to serve you and your family. Come by Chris Robinson Insurance Agency, 1211 West Court Street in Paragould.
You get big time savings and hometown service. Always a big Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram.
At First National Bank, you have convenience right at your fingertips. And instant buying power. It's so easy. And when you're on the go, well, you know what to do. We understand the importance of now. First National Bank, the working bank for working people.
When you feel bad and it's after regular office hours, turn to CR Doc. Here's Dr. Roger Cagle.
At CR Doc, we offer more than the standard family medicine practice. We have extended office hours with on-site lab and x-ray, as well as casting and suturing capabilities, giving you an alternative to those crowded emergency rooms for all your minor injuries and accidents that need fast, complete medical attention. Appointments are available but not necessary.
CR Doc in the King Carroll Suites on West Kings Highway in Paragould in front of Walmart.
At CR Doc, we are patient people.
Retirement? It's never looked so good. Welcome to Chateau on the Ridge Assisted Living in Paragould, Arkansas. Say hello to fine dining and down-home living, where around-the-clock security and peace of mind are always at your fingertips. And front row seats to the best shows, they're included. We call it Chateau on the Ridge. You can call it home. Call or visit today to get the whole scoop.
Mr. T's Riverside Cafe in Cardinal, Missouri for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Open 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Join us after the game for a pizza or our delicious hickory smoked barbecue, just a short drive across the Kahlua-colored waters of the St. Francis River at the Arkansas-Missouri state line in the scenic resort town of Cardinal, Missouri.
Mr. T's at Riverside. Kavanaugh Kia's Pre-Owned Superstore. Your one-stop car shop to find the vehicle you deserve. Every make and model is right here on our lot. Chevy, Ford, Toyota, Nissan, Lincoln, Cadillac, and more. With a huge selection of cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. We also have a great variety of certified pre-owned Kias with America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. You'll never have to drive anywhere else than Kavanaugh Kia's Pre-Owned Superstore. Visit us today on Stadium Boulevard, just south of the bypass, or online at KavanaughKia.com.
We opened our maximum free checking account online. It took less than 15 minutes.
With Focus Bank, you can easily open your maximum free checking or Max Savers account online. And with mobile banking, you'll always stay in control. Whether you're looking for a free checking account, an interest-bearing account, or a rewards checking account, Focus Bank has a solution for you.
Mobile banking with Focus Bank makes our life easier.
Visit FocusBank.com and sign up for a new account with mobile banking today.
Hi, I'm Middle Rock Lemon. And when I'm in Northeast Arkansas, when I watch sports, I watch all my sports on YourPrimeTimeSports.com. You should too.
Welcome back to YourPrimeTimeSports.com. And we, I think, are situated now.
Well, there we are.
Our next guest is the Greene County Tech Eagles head coach, Scott Bowlin.
And he's incognito this morning. I can't even see his eyes. He's got this tech cap on. I can't even see his eyes. Look, are you going to talk like this all morning? With
you going to take that hat up a little bit?
Well, you know, I got to wear something to show me I'm a good guy. I got the white on this morning.
The good guy thing going on.
Isn't that right? They say good guys wear white?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
jerks wear black?
There you go.
So what have I got on?
Well, your normal colors.
Oh, me. Well, you took one on the noggin last night, didn't you?
We did.
On the road. It's tough to win on the road in the 5A. We've always talked about that. And but from all indications, I think you had the lead most of the game.
We did. Man, them eggs look good over there, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yes, we did. We led up until about the last 4 minutes of the game. We played extremely well in the first half. I had a kid last night probably shoot the balls as well as anybody I've had in 29 years.
Who was it?
Tanner Perkins.
Tanner Perkins. I had a feeling that's who you was fixing to say.
He had 8 threes in the first half.
Wow.
And ended up with 9, and that's a poor job on my part that we didn't get him the ball better in the second half. But, you know, it was really a tale of two halves. The second half really was just a street ball deal. And they started running and jumping us, and you know, the bottom line, Cliff, is you got to make plays when you get into that sort of a slugfest, you know. And we just didn't make any plays down the stretch. I thought Andrew Hovis played extremely well in the second half. You know, he sort of took the slack up where Tanner, when they sort of shut him down. And I thought he played well, but, you know, it's the first game, and they're the favorite to win the East. And we led by as much as 14 points. And, you know, we just fell a little short.
Well, Dave and I both, we were at Blytheville last night covering the Blytheville BB game, and Dave and I both, as we would receive our information at the end of each quarter, we were like looking at one another. I can't, you know, and I think Dave even said, well, I'm really shocked at that, because you're right. They are picked to win the 5A East. They are big. They're strong. They're athletic. And I think at one time you had a 10-point lead.
We led by as much as 14.
14.
And like I said, you know, we really competed last night, and we did a lot of good things. But when it gets down to the end of a game in the 5A East, and every game's going to be close, you got to have guys that can make plays.
And that's one of the things I want to bring up. You have 5 seniors, am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
But you are loaded at the bottom with sophomores.
We are.
And they're good sophomores, don't get me wrong. But they're getting a lot of playing time this year.
Well, they are. But, you know, we only played one last night, and I thought he did really well. And it's not that we don't have faith in those guys. But, you know, and this may be wrong, but I feel like that we have to pick and choose when to play these guys, and it may get to a point to where we just have to throw them in there, and, you know, just whatever happens. But yes, we feel like we have an outstanding sophomore class, and we feel like that the future is very bright. But you know, and there's going to be times that they're going to play, and then there'll be times they won't. Last night we just felt like the game was way too physical. And, you know, they don't have a lot of meat on their bones right now.
Right.
But, you know, like I said, that may change. You know, we played Nettleton Tuesday, and we could play all five of them.
Okay, somebody was asking me earlier who you were playing Tuesday night. He's an alumni from Greene County Tech, and he said Nettleton. I said, I don't think they played Nettleton this early yet in the conference play, but you played Nettleton Tuesday night. So you go to Nettleton?
No, Nettleton's here.
Nettleton's here,
then
okay.
We play Wynne. Then we have the other school, and then we go to Beebe.
Okay, I understand.
Well, we heard, and I'm not sure if this is correct, but doesn't Forest City have some guy that's nearly 7 feet tall?
He's 6'9".
6'9". Golly.
Well, he's been starting for them since he was a sophomore.
Yeah, but he must have grown, because I don't remember anybody that tall.
He's been starting since he's in the 7th grade, I think. I see him every year.
Yeah.
Sort of like
23 now?
Yeah, he's sort of like that kid from Mountain Home. I swear he's been playing for 10 years.
Well, did that kid do anything? I mean, was he controlling the game for Forest City? How was that working out?
Well, you know, Grim, when you're 6'9", you got a guy 5'9" guarding him. It's, you know, he will do some good things. But yes, you know, pretty much when they needed something done, you know, he was involved, whether it be making a block or a rebound or making a shot. So yes, he was involved in every play, especially down the stretch.
I don't have any heights like I do for most of the schools for Forest City.
They were 6'9", 6'6", 6'4", 6'1", and about 5'10".
Yeah, and I think their big guns were
Trey.
Trey Stein.
No, that's not right. Where is old Trey?
Trey Thompson.
Trey Thompson.
Trey Thompson. Trey Hutchinson.
Trey Hutchinson.
Or Hutchinson, or how you say that?
Right.
Keith James. He's a big guy.
Yeah, Keith James. And like I said, Dwight does a great job, and you know, they're in the middle of it every year, and that's not going to change this year.
Yeah, they're supposed to be the top dog. So
yes.
We got that road game, the Forest City Mustang road game. It's out of the way. We wiped the slate, start new. I guess you practice tomorrow, a little shoot around a little bit, maybe.
Won't be no little shoot around.
You got some things to work on.
We got some things we got to do. Yes.
Okay. So overall, since non-conference play started, you're kind of on a up and down swirl right now.
We are.
But How do you feel since the season started as far as improvement?
I feel like we're getting better right now, actually. I thought about that last night about 3 in the morning. I feel like we're getting better. We've really seen some improvement probably in the last 10 days. So, I like the direction that we're going in. But, we've just got to have guys make plays. Me and Coach Rob we can get them ready. We can get them in positions. And maybe I didn't do a good job of that last night down the stretch. But eventually, when it's all said and done, you got to have guys make plays.
Well, you can do all that for them, but you can't shoot it for them.
Well, you can't. And, it's not because we hadn't tried, and the kids are trying. And, we're fine. We feel like that we can make a run at it, and we feel like that we'll beat Forrest City when they come here.
Who was your sophomore that got a little PT last night?
Blake Chesser.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The Blakester. Okay.
And the reason he got some PT is, first of all, when Blake figures out that he has to come bring his lunch pail every day, he'll get more minutes, all the time. But he's like sophomores. He takes days off and he takes plays off, which is totally common for young kids. But Blake is strong, and we felt like because of his strength that he could compete in that game last night.
Well, I'll tell you one other thing that he is.
His IQ is very high.
Yeah, I just fixed to say he's smart on the floor.
Right. Not, he just knows how to play the game. His dad knew how to play the game. They say his grandfather knew how to play the game. So it sort of runs in his genes.
And a lot of times you get lucky and you get to sit down and watch a player like that or coach a player like that. And right off the jump go. Well, usually you pick up on that in Pee Wee ball.
Yeah, well, I tell you what's really neat is to watch those sophomores play together. They've played together since they were in the 4th grade.
Sure.
And they just naturally know where they are all the time. And like I said, I think if they will, I told them the other day, they were all sort of hanging out, and they hang out together, which I think is great. If they love the game as much 1 year from now, then they have a chance to be a pretty special group maybe.
Well, I think you and I were talking 2 years ago. Could have been, I think 2 years ago. And we were talking that when this group of sophomores were juniors and seniors with this group of junior high kids that are coming up through the system,
that will be very competitive.
Very competitive, very competitive. So it ought to be fun to watch. But right now, that's way down. That's way down the road. We got to concentrate on what's going on right now. You've got several more conference games. Matter of fact, Coach Jones from Wynne was texting me last night at about 10:33. I was already in bed and I already had one eye shut, and my phone goes off. I thought it was you. Because there's not too many people that text me that late.
I wasn't real talkative at 10:30.
That's why I didn't text you me driving home from Blytheville. I didn't want to talk to you either because I knew you wasn't going to be in the mood. But anyway, I picked my phone up. It's Coach Jones, Coach Russell Jones. I went, whoa. Well, he was telling me kind of what happened and kind of explaining to me. And I just texted him back. I said, you know what, Coach? It's a tough loss, but it's early in the season. You got a lot more. Well, I'll tell you the same thing. You got a lot more. So
you can't worry about one game right now. It's just one game at a time, one day at a time, and that's the way we approach it every year.
So let's go back to Tanner Perkins. Kid goes off with 9 threes. What did he end up with? Over 30?
No, he ended up 27. Like 27. I said, that might be a poor job on our part. They changed the way they played defensively in the
That could be
half.
A school record.
I believe it is a school record, actually.
9 threes. I've never seen him make 9 threes or anywhere close to that.
Well, the thing about it that you're an old athlete like myself, and I don't think there's a lot of times that that you get into those zones, as they call it. I remember playing maybe a couple times. I did, and you could look in Tanner's eyes last night, and he was zoned out, and I mean that in a good way.
Right.
And he was really feeling it, and what I was really proud of him is he really let the game come to him. He didn't force the game. The ball was finding his hands. The kids were looking for him, and he was making shots. I'll tell you what, and not because he hit 9 threes last night, but through the years I've had some really, really good shooters. And Sean Burgess comes to mind. Skylar comes to mind. A couple kids in Tennessee, Jason Manchester.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure, and I feel confident in saying this, that Tanner Perkins is probably the purest shooter that I've ever had the opportunity to coach. Because
well, we've always talked about him
since he was in the 6th grade.
Sure have. And if he brought that game every day, man, what could he do?
Well,
listen, hold that thought right there, okay? We're going to take we need to take about a 2-minute break. And is that right, Dave?
Yeah, 2 minutes right now.
2-minute commercial break, and we'll return in a couple minutes with Coach Scott Bowlin here at Batten's Bakery at yourprimetimesports.com.
You get big-time savings and hometown service. Always a bed, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. At Bed, there's a difference you will clearly see. You're always a VIP. Saving service, great selection too. Bed does it all for you.
Retirement? It's never looked so good. Welcome to Chateau on the Ridge Assisted Living in Paragould, Arkansas. Say hello to fine dining and down-home living, where around-the-clock security and peace of mind are always at your fingertips. And front row seats to the best shows, they're included. We call it Chateau on the Ridge. You can call it home. Call or visit today to get the whole scoop.
Do you need insurance? If the answer is yes, let Chris Robinson and his staff at Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency handle your needs. Whether it's auto, life, business, or planning for your retirement, Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency is ready to serve you and your family. Come by Chris Robinson Insurance Agency, 1211 West Court Street in Paragould.
At First National Bank, you have convenience right at your fingertips. And instant buying power. It's so easy. And when you're on the go, well, you know what to do. We understand the importance of now. First National Bank, the working bank for working people.
Welcome back, yourprimetimesports.com. I've got Scott Bowlin's money. See that right there? I'm leaving town.
I failed to do that right there.
Actually, it's my wife, so I got it out of her purse for her.
Oh, I won't steal from her.
Well,
I don't have any problem stealing from you, but from her, I won't do that.
She just texted me and said I looked really good. Clifton need to work on his looks, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah, see that I'll agree with. Y'all go ahead.
Oh boy, y'all love hammering me, don't you? All right, let's get back to that thought you had before we went to commercial break. We was talking about Tanner Perkins, and I told you to hold that thought.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you're over 50, so you let it slip, didn't you?
You're exactly right.
That's what I thought.
I think that Tanner, first of all, Tanner's really maturing as a player. And along with that, for him will come the ability to get better and better. What Tanner has to do to be a complete player offensively is he's got to expand his game. He's got to get that mid-range going, and he's got to get his left hand going. Defensively, he's very good. He's very strong. His strength is great. I think, and I'm not saying it won't happen this year, but I think, Tanner Perkins could be a premier player in the 5A East next year.
I agree with that. I've always thought that.
He's just got some things he's got to do, but, hey, he shot the ball really well. The thing that I really like about him, and I think sometimes he probably thinks I don't like him, I love his competitiveness. He loves to win. He loves to compete, and he's begun to channel that every day in practice in the right direction. But, and he's just a bulldog, and, it hurt him last night. It hurt all the kids last night when we got beat.
Sure.
It's really it really hurt him. I mean, there's getting beat is part of life, and you have to go forward. But, they didn't like it. And
that's a good sign.
Well, that's the one thing about our teams at Tech. We talk about tradition and programs and all that. They feel like that they carry the whole community on their backs, and they know that this community cares about the basketball program. And they want to do well. They want to do well for themselves, but they also want to do well for the people who have graduated from Tech and are going to be playing, with the guys coming in behind them and the guys that played in front of them.
And I don't hear you say that very often about, it really hurt them last night to get beat. But obviously they laid it all out on the floor, and they come up a few points short. And so they're probably up this morning thinking, I'm not happy about that, and I'm going to do something about that.
Yeah, we have a great bunch of kids. We really do, and we just got to keep getting better.
Right.
We got to keep working on all the things that we do. We don't have a lot of size, so we have some things that really hamper us when we play people like Forrest City. Like I said, Hunter Matheny, there's no better competitor than him. But when you're giving up a foot, and I mean literally a foot, to a guy that is supposedly an SEC player, and I thought Hunter did as well as he could do. I even seen Lane Earls come up to me in a timeout and say, "Hey, I want to try him." And Lane's never done that before, so
right.
We see some things, good things going on, and we feel like that. We have an opportunity to make the playoffs, and we expect to make the playoffs. And it's just a game at a time, Cliff. You can't do it any more than that.
Right. Well, let's talk about Linderman and Nathan Ferguson and I'm Andrew Hobus, Matheny.
Mm-hmm. To the Linderman kid, he's a sophomore, and we dismissed Jacob as an 8th grader after his 8th grade year because he wasn't making his grades and didn't want to do right. And he came back and asked if he could come back, and he's been just a pleasant surprise. I mean, he's not going to play varsity this year, I don't think. I mean, if he improves, he will. But, we feel like that Jacob Linderman has a chance to be a big part of Tech basketball in the next couple of years. But that's going to depend on his strength. And, like I said, if he still loves it as much as he does right now, then he's going to have a really nice career before he leaves here. Nathan Ferguson has improved tremendously. He's still growing up. We run into immaturity like every other basketball team, and he's really grown up, and he's taking responsibility for his team, and he's doing a good job, and we're real pleased with him, actually.
Well, that's
Andrew Hobus.
Yeah.
You mentioned his name. I think that Andrew, Dwight texted me last night on the way home, and he said when 24 decides to get an attitude about himself, that he's really got a good game to him. And, that's something that we've told Andrew many times. And,
saying that if Andrew took just a little bit of Tanner Perkins,
ain't no doubt about it.
Holy smoke!
He'd be a lot better than he is.
You betcha. If he had just a little bit of Tanner had just a little bit of him.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the attitudes.
Oh yeah, exactly.
You'd have a well-balanced a pair of ball players
we
there.
Did, but Andrew has the last 2 or 3 games has we've seen that aggression in him. And it wasn't that Andrew wasn't aggressive last night, but my goodness, when you got a guy hitting a 3 every time he shoots it, it sort of takes that ball out of everybody else's hands.
Sure.
And I thought Andrew played with that, and then in the second half, I told him at halftime, I said, look, they're going to make some adjustments, and you're going to have to come in and make some shots, and that's exactly what he did. He hit some big shots for us in the second half. So, he comes from good stock. He's going to be out. He's going to do well whatever he does in life. And I think that the next 13 games, and I expect Andrew Hobus to have an outstanding 13 games.
Well, that's good. I really like Andrew, and I don't have anything but to say I agree with everything you just said. So, Tony Valdez, did he
Tony's getting better as well. Like I said,
now, Tony's just a junior.
He's a junior.
Yeah.
Tony is another outstanding kid. Tony's very inconsistent for us right now, but he's getting better. And the only reason he's inconsistent is just because of his demeanor. You know, Tony's a big, strong kid, and you know, he can really mix it up when he wants to, and that's what we need him to do every day and every night. And you know, Tony's going to have to give us some very quality minutes the next 2 months.
Yeah, Tony is a big, strong kid, and I've always felt that he did not utilize that to his advantage in a lot of cases.
Right. You know, he's still understanding the game, and here again, he's one of those guys that he is such a great kid that he has issues sometimes. Just really wanting to get in there and mix it up, but he can definitely help this basketball team.
All right, so let's tap on next week's schedule, and we'll get our next guest on here. You have Nettleton at home Tuesday, am I right?
Yes, we do. All
right, and next Friday you go to?
No, we got Wynne coming to our place.
Oh, you got 2 home games next week.
Actually, we got 3 in a row.
3 in a row. Okay, so Nettleton's coming to Greene County Tech next Tuesday night, and Wynne will be coming to the arena on the following Friday for next week's agenda.
Right.
So if you are watching, or you watch this on the delayed broadcast or our archives, go out and support the Greene County Tech Eagles. Go out to the arena and watch them. Here's an opportunity for you not to have to travel, and go out and watch some of these kids that we've been talking about. They're fun to watch, and I think you'll enjoy the basketball game. Scott, it's always good pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Cliff.
You know he'll be back.
How you know?
Last year you were on every single week of the season almost.
Yeah,
we know you'll be back.
Just because a good friend of mine, my best friend, asked me to. It wasn't because I come up here to see you. I'm just kidding, Grim.
You have to go watch last night's girls' game, and you have to take it over to the second half. Start at the second half. I had some Skittles out here laid out in colors, tropical Skittles. I had the red and the blue and the yellow and the green. I had them separated. And Grim asked me on the air, what am I doing? I said, that's how I'm keeping score. I said, Jamie Jackson's got the yellow. She's got the most points.
You know, that's sort of like Ernest T. on Mayberry right there, you know.
He got a big.
The only way he can keep score.
He got a big kick out of it.
If he hadn't done that, he'd have had to take off his shoes and socks.
Count his toes and fingers. I understand.
All right, get out of here.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
We'll be back in 4 minutes with Coach Mark McCord of Nettleton on YourPrimetimeSports.com.
Do you need insurance? If the answer is yes, let Chris Robinson and his staff at Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency handle your needs. Whether it's auto, life, business, or planning for your retirement, Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency is ready to serve you and your family. Come by Chris Robinson Insurance Agency, 1211 West Court Street in Paragould.
You get big time savings and hometown service. Always a big Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. At Baird, there's a difference you will clearly see. You're always a VIP. Saving service, great selection too. Baird does it all for you.
At First National Bank, you have convenience right at your fingertips. And instant buying power. It's so easy. And when you're on the go, well, you know what to do. We understand the importance of now. First National Bank, the working bank for working people.
When you feel bad and it's after regular office hours, turn to CR Doc. Here's Dr. Roger Cagle.
At CR Doc, we offer more than the standard family medicine practice. We have extended office hours with on-site lab and x-ray, as well as casting and suturing capabilities, giving you an alternative to those crowded emergency rooms for all your minor injuries and accidents that need fast, complete medical attention. Appointments are available but not necessary.
CR Doc in the King Carroll Suites on West Kings Highway in Paragould in front of Walmart.
At CR Doc, we are patient people.
Retirement? It's never looked so good. Welcome to Chateau on the Ridge Assisted Living in Paragould, Arkansas. Say hello to fine dining and down-home living, where around-the-clock security and peace of mind are always at your fingertips. And front row seats to the best shows, they're included. We call it Chateau on the Ridge. You can call it home. Call or visit today to get the whole scoop.
Mr. T's Riverside Cafe in Cardwell, Missouri for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Open 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Join us after the game for a pizza or our delicious hickory smoked barbecue. Just a short drive across the Kahlua-colored waters of the St. Francis River at the Arkansas-Missouri state line in the scenic resort town of Cardwell, Missouri.
Mr. T's at Riverside. Kavanaugh Kia's pre-owned superstore. Your one-stop car shop to find the vehicle you deserve. Every make and model is right here on our lot. Chevy, Ford, Toyota, Nissan, Lincoln, Cadillac, and more. With a huge selection of cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. We also have a great variety of certified pre-owned Kias with America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. You'll never have to drive anywhere else than Kavanaugh Kia's pre-owned superstore. Visit us today on Stadium Boulevard, just south of the bypass, or online at KavanaughKia.com.
We opened our maximum free checking account online. It took less than 15 minutes.
With Focus Bank, you can easily open your maximum free checking or max savers account online. And with mobile banking, you'll always stay in control. Whether you're looking for a free checking account, an interest-bearing account, or a rewards checking account, Focus Bank has a solution for you.
Mobile banking with Focus Bank makes our life easier.
Visit FocusBank.com and sign up for a new account with mobile banking today.
Hi, I'm Middle Rock Lemon. And when I'm in Northeast Arkansas, when I watch sports, I watch all my sports on YourPrimeTimeSports.com. You should too.
All right, welcome back to YourPrimeTimeSports.com. Our final guest of the day, and boy, he's seen a lot of media attention this week. It's Mark McCord, the head coach of the Nettleton Raiders.
And before we step into that, I want to thank Meadowlark Lemon, Hall of Famer, for that commercial.
Yeah, I know. We'll use that forever.
I know.
You got to give Meadowlark some props, I tell you.
Oh,
I feel like I need a ball over here spinning on my finger.
Yeah, well, you know what? Here's what's cool about that. After they left the community, I started getting phone calls. They wanted some pictures that I took. They wanted some DVD coverage that we had filmed for that Dave had done. You know, Dave did an interview with him. It's on our Legends program, and so we actually sent stuff to them so they can use in the future for billboards and posters and commercials.
Right.
I thought, man,
that's big time.
That's big time.
It is.
Yeah. So.
That's great.
But anyway, yeah, let's talk some Nettleton basketball. You got your first conference victory last night and started out 1-0 in the conference, so kind of all tightened up there at the top right now.
It's always nice to get that monkey off your back, so to speak, that first game. And, you know, there's not too many times we've gone down and beaten Wynne that very first game. It seems like we've had a lot of heartbreaks. Bobby and I, Coach Gross, have had some wars down there, and it seemed like we would always come up a little short, play well. I've gotten beat on a couple of buzzer beaters, it seems like. That very first game at Wynne, we've won at Wynne, but that first time at Wynne, the first game, it's been hard to come by, and we've had some real heartbreaks, so it's really nice to get that first one at Wynne.
Now, I was not there, so you correct me because, you know, I don't know all the scenario here. But were you behind most of the game, and then right there?
It was close. I mean, we were.
When I say behind, I mean just maybe a point or two, or
nip and tuck. It was nip and tuck whole first half. We led them for a little bit, and it was tied 23-all at halftime. It was a grinder. It was a grinder first half, and typical 5A East grinder, and tied up at halftime. And both teams playing pretty good defense and not getting many looks at the basket. And it was big for us to keep them off the backboard. I mean, they've got that big, huge front line, 6'7", 6'4", 6'3", and really athletic and strong.
They are big.
Their whole front line played football. They're real physical. They won't back down. They're not shy of contact. And we knew we had to go get them and block out. That was key for the game. Don't give them any offensive rebounds, because really their best offense is shoot. They shoot a lot of threes in their offense this year, and they just go get it. And they may be their best offense. But into the third quarter, they're up 5 on us going into the fourth, and, you know, it's looking a little bleak. Victor Dukes was in foul trouble, did not play the second quarter. So I felt pretty
Wow.
good having going at halftime 23-all with Vic on the bench the second quarter.
Sure.
And, of course, he had 9 points the first quarter. He had 9 points the first quarter. They had trouble stopping him. He gets 2 early fouls, which he's done. He's done here lately. NEA had to set him out a quarter or two because of foul trouble, and it's the cheap little fouls, and that's sophomore fouls. And he's got to learn. He's got to mature and be a little smarter and know when he can steal the ball and when he can't. And
I've seen one of those.
He overextends. He overextends and gets a little overzealous, as we say, and wants to steal everything. And of course, go down and dunk it. We might talk about a dunk later, but
we're going to.
I'm leading into that.
Yeah,
segue into that.
We have the highlights on that, but we'll get to that in just a minute. But yeah.
But anyway, had a big fourth quarter. Hey, we step up. We outscored them 31-10 in the fourth quarter to pull away from them. And my team. I was telling Scotty just a while ago. You got to let them play. You got to let athletes like that play. And we haven't had a lot of them that can do the things that these guys can do. And you don't want to over-structure. Of course, we've got to have some structure. But tell you what, open court game, you got to let them play. And
sure.
A couple of times last night, I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" We had a lead, and I think Victor thought I meant go. Said go, 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 and he goes in.
Put the afterburners on.
Classic example of overcoaching. Let him play. He went to the bucket and made a play, and then he hits a 3 after that wide open, and he's only hit 1 3 all year. And no, we don't really need that, and he knocks it down.
Right.
So I'm just turn to the bench. Hey, that's all right. He goes in. That's a good shot, I guess.
That's right.
You got to let him play some and let him
free
them up.
You're leading the conference, or the 5A East Conference, with a 14-1 record. Am I correct?
13-1. I think you're giving us credit for one more.
I think it's 14.
It said 14-1 on Twitter last night, but I'm not
we'll
sure.
We'll take 14-1.
Okay, so 14-1 right now.
All I know is we're 1-0. Those other games don't mean a whole lot right now.
You just came off last Monday of being the NEA champions, beat Manila. But I seen, and I think I seen, how many games you played in NEA? 3? 3. Mm-hmm. I seen the last 2.
Mm-hmm. Cedar Ridge and Manila.
That's right. I can't recall when I've hardly ever missed the NEA tournament, and that goes all the way back to before I was even able to play in it myself. I witnessed the greatest high school dunk that I've ever seen in my life, and this dude went viral.
It has gone viral. What constitutes viral, though? Is it 100,000 to a million?
It's over a million.
Oh, it's over a million right now.
If you combine all the different ones, the views on all the different ones that have been uploaded, it's well over a million right now.
Now, before we show this, what great media attention, not only for Nettleton Raiders, but for Victor Dukes, because if I'm a Division I college basketball coach and I get word on this and I look at this and I'm out in California or something, I'm going to say, go to one of my assistants and say, you got to go check this kid out, okay? Now, because if he can do that, what else can he do?
Yeah, if he can do that, I can teach him how to shoot.
He's just a sophomore.
We can work on some things. He's got the tools to work with.
Yeah.
You can't teach that.
So let's show the clip. This is Victor Dukes against Manila in the fourth quarter.
Third quarter.
Third quarter. And if you have not seen this, you'll be impressed.
He's living under a rock if you haven't seen this. Here we go. That is just nasty.
We're going to get some other views here.
That constitutes nasty.
That is the definition of nasty. Here's another shot at it from a different view.
That's my favorite.
That's my favorite view, too.
Right there. I like the one from the front, too, on the playboard.
I guarantee you, Michael
I was sitting right back here.
That's a nice view, too.
I seen the back side. I didn't think that he even touched the Bogle. But in that side view, you see him just a little bit.
Obviously, he clipped him a little bit now.
But look at that, man. He's about ready to eat dinner off the rim.
They say the kid he could take a bite out of the rim. He actually could have.
Yeah.
It's amazing. He's actually done that in practice. I mean, we're amazed that he did it like that. It wasn't quite that good, but he did jump outside the lane over one of our players.
In practice,
and did it. And so we've seen that before. He can do that. And, of course, the Cedar Ridge game, we win by 2 in a close game at Grinder, and he misses 2 wide open dunks.
He sure
He's
did.
all by himself. He misses 2, trying to dunk it too hard.
Yeah.
I gave him the first one, but the second one I pulled him out.
I
said,
at you.
That's 4 points you've thrown away right there. And we need them. So he could have very well been the GOAT there. Cordarius Morgan is the unsung hero in this thing. You know, we can talk about the dunk. The dunk is great. But if it weren't for the charge, on Cedar Ridge with about 10 seconds to go in the ball game that led up to the next game. Gets us to the next game.
We don't have this clip.
And then Justin Harris makes the shot, the game-winning shot against Cedar Ridge. So you had the charge, the shot before the dunk, or the dunk doesn't happen.
Right.
Well,
so all of that falls into place.
Have your kids handle all this media attention? I mean, it's all week long. It's been nothing but media attention about that one dunk.
Victor's just turned 16 last month. If I was 16 years old, it'd be hard for. I don't know how I would take it. I think my head would swell up a little bit. But as far as
Victor Dukes is a good kid.
He's a good kid. Well, you can tell that the favorite part of the clip is when he runs back down the floor, and I'm sure Scott and all the coaches, they see that. College coaches see that they like that just as much as the dunk. Believe me, they love the dunk. But his reaction.
Act like you've been there before.
Act like you've been there before. Act like you've done it. Just run back the other end and get back on defense. And then I saw a look of concern for the Manila kid on Victor's face, but he's that type of kid. He's looking down there, oh, what'd I do to him? Did I hurt him? And he's just a good kid, just a great kid.
The only thing that, after they showed it the third time on the Jumbotron, I turned to some coaches that were sitting behind me and said, okay, that's enough. The kid's still laying on the floor.
Right.
Because the crowd was going into the ooh mode when they showed every time, and we had a kid on his back on the floor, and I was sitting by his former coach from Manila, and he leaned over to me and he said, he's prone to concussions, and I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
And because this Coach Bill Taylor's who I was sitting by, he knew the kid very well. So when and I'm thinking, oh man, I hope he didn't hit his head hard,
Right.
So I'm concerned. I mean, I love the dunk, but I'm concerned about the young man on the floor. And so after the third time on the Jumbotron, I'm like, okay, don't show it no more because we still got a kid on the floor here.
That's right. That's exactly right. And you got to give the Bogle kid credit. He stuck his nose in there and tried to take it. I think
he came back and played.
And came back and played. He's a hard-nosed kid. I'd take him in a heartbeat. And the Manila's got a lot of hard-nosed kids, and that's why they're good. They play together as a team. But he had drawn 2 charges the game before when they upset EPC on Malik Monk. I mean, just stood there and took them, and those were game changers in that EPC game. So we knew all along that kid would step in and draw a charge. And they changed defenses on us, Manila did. They played 4 different defenses. They threw everything at the kitchen sink, a triangle of 2, boxing 1. They went 3-2 zone.
They did.
That particular play, they had just gone back man-to-man, which they hadn't played much man. So we just simply went 4 flat, and my first thing is, Victor's going to go in there and charge, pick up another foul. That's what I'm thinking. And he jukes the kid. It was a good move. You talk about the dunk, but it was the move to set up the dunk that was pretty good with the left hand. He jukes him and goes left and just takes off, and Bogle was helping off of John Nickel down low, and you got to give him credit for sticking his nose in there.
Yeah, you do, and like you said, it was a good move and on Victor's part, and but I kind of thought Lee fell into your hands when he went back to that man-to-man, because that's what the 5A East is basically about.
It is.
And when you go into that man-to-man, if I'm Coach Mark McCord, I'm like, okay, now you're in my league. And so because that's all we see in the 5A all the time. When you get to the lower divisions, you don't see that as often.
You don't. You really don't. The physical play, the man-to-man defense.
Sure.
And usually it's a grinded-out affair in the 5A East. There's no doubt. And, it's such a well-coached league, just like the guy that just left there in white there.
Yeah. The good guy.
Good guys.
That's what he says today. Good guy.
White.
Yeah.
Okay. But yes.
But okay, let's get into. You got your first conference win last night. You're off to a good start. Who have you got Tuesday night?
Oh, it's funny. I think you set this up. We've got Greene County Tech, I believe, coming. It's over
you
here
do.
at Tech,
That's right. Yeah, over here at
I'll
Tech.
see the guy that just left there Tuesday night, and it's not going to be fun.
Well, let me tell you something.
He's coming off a tough loss, Forrest City, where he had I didn't know.
Yeah, and he's not very happy.
He's not a very happy camper right now, and I can tell by the way he's eating breakfast. He's probably practicing this afternoon, and he's going to have them ready to play.
And tomorrow. Twice tomorrow, I think. Twice on Sunday.
May go 2-a-days, and he will have them ready to play. And
him and Coach Rob, they're not happy campers right now.
It's a quick turnaround for us. We got a good win at Wynne on the road, and that's a dandy, and we'll take it. And that's a good start. But I tell you what, we'll have our work cut out Tuesday. We know that.
Well, I love Victor Dukes, and that was before he ever made his famous dunk, because we have the magazine, and I know these kids, and these kids somewhat know me, and So I've been seeing him play. But let's talk about, I don't want to make this the Victor Duke show. I want
we don't.
I want to talk about your other players. I want to talk about your well-rounded team. I want to talk about Justin Harris. Matter of fact, we got to talk about something else about Justin Harris, too, in a minute.
Yeah, we may not go there.
Okay.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right.
You know, starting off with our guys, and like you said, it's a team game, and you know we've got a good team, and and we play together, and I think the more games we play, the better we're going to get with this team, and this is not the final product, right? You see, and we've still got a lot of work to do, a lot of improving to do, and usually we play our best basketball in February when you want to play it right before the state tournament, and hopefully this team, we've got 2 sophomores starting, which is kind of unusual, and
who are the 2 sophomores?
You got Silas Finch and Victor Duke.
Yeah, Silas Finch. I like Silas Finch.
Silas is stepping up. Silas had a huge game last night. He's not really a true point guard. He was a great 9th grader for Forrest last year, all-conference guard, really led us in junior high last year along with Victor. And, you know, he's thrown into the fire, and it's tough when you're a sophomore point guard. And I go back to another sophomore point guard I've had, Jordan Andrews, who my little general, who graduated last year, who really improved every year and could control tempo and could guard you and do a lot of things. He was such a great leader and a good team guy. Silas is going to fit that mold. He's cut from the same cloth that Jordan is, and he's going to be a dandy before it's all
he's
said
number
done.
21.
He's number 3.
Number
He's
3.
number
That's
3,
right.
and he's going to be. He's a little. I think he may not be as quick laterally as Jordan right now, but he's going to be as athletic as Jordan Moore because he's a little bit longer.
Sure.
And he can hit the shot. Last night he had 10 points in that 4th quarter. In that decisive 4th quarter, Victor had 13 and he had 10. That's pretty nice. 2 sophomores stepping up in the 4th quarter in crunch time and doing that. We need a lot more of that. But he's got to distribute the basketball this year. He's turning it over a little too much for me right now. He's got to cut that down. First half last night, turned it over against Wynne. But, hey, that's his first 5A East Conference game, and he's seeing some athletes he's not seen before. A little different than junior high going against 9th graders, and he's seen those senior athletes for Wynne and the quickness and the athleticism.
He grew up in a hurry last night, didn't he?
He had to, and that's what I said. Hey, he grew up. If I had a game ball, I'd give it to him. You know, Victor had 22, but, hey, he grew up, and he had to lead us and get people in position. And D'Israel Gordon hit some shots. D'Israel Gordon, number 12, for us, senior, 6-foot guard, lefty. I can't say enough about D'Israel. D'Israel, hey, was a academic casualty earlier in his sophomore year and didn't get to play much, became eligible last year, 2nd semester, and has really come on. Has really worked hard on his game, his all-around game. He's worked hard on his shot, spent a lot of reps in the gym, and he has really been solid for us. He's had some big games where he's had 26 and scored the basketball and really shot it well, and has hit some big threes for us, and he's got to shoot the basketball. Defense is getting better, and he's one of our better on-the-ball defenders. He had the tough assignment of guarding Keenan Hawk last night for Wynne, and that's a tough choice.
Yes, that's a
Keenan
tough
Hawk
assignment.
is probably as quick with the basketball as anybody in our league. If you can guard Hawk, you can guard anybody in our league. And at times, Hawk broke us down, and but D'Israel's a good defender. He's one of our captains, and he's a good leader for us. And he's a hard worker. He's a very hard worker, one of the hardest workers we have. And Silas Finch, it goes down the line. You know, Silas is one of the hardest workers. He never takes a play off, never takes a day off. And then you got to go to our other captain, along with D'Israel, John Nickel.
I just fixed that. It's got to be Big John Nickel.
Big John Nickel, and John is. I'm so proud of him. He gets it done in the classroom. You don't have to worry about him. He's developed, he's matured into a good team leader. He's good in that locker room for us, and he's like having a coach out there. And you know, guys follow him and look up to him. He's really gotten in the weight room and gotten stronger, and, you know, got a good body and has really shot the ball well for us. Had a breakout game in the NEA against Cedar Ridge when we had to have him. And he's done that before. He's really stretched his range, can shoot the 3. And we want him to shoot the basketball more. We give him the green light. We let shooters shoot it. And, you know, we can step him out. And, you know, we run our high post offense to Scott, you know, similar to Scotty and what he does at Tech and what Blytheville has done in the past. And he's perfect mode for that high post because he'd make that 15-foot shot and he'd put it on the floor a little bit against bigger post guys in our league.
Sure.
But John, I'm really proud of John and how much he's improved as the years have progressed. And he's got to be big for us down the stretch. Justin Harris, you were talking about Justin. Very athletic, 6'3" forward for us. You know, a slow start this year because of a knee injury. He had tendonitis in his knee and has really not come into his own quite yet. And got to be a tougher defender, got to rebound the ball like he's capable of, but he's one of our better athletes, and he's 6'3". He was big last night for us, made some good plays, had to have him on the floor against Wynne. We've got to have Justin in the 5A East. He's got to be our X factor. He's got to be that guy that steps up, no matter if he starts or he comes off the bench, but he's got to get some rebounds. He's got to be athletic around the goal and get us something inside. You
have a little bit of luxury here with some of these names you've called off, and some that you haven't called off is of the athleticism. You've got some really true cut from the cloth athletes.
We do.
That can jump, they can shoot, they can do the good things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we got a good mix. We've got a good mix, you know, and you got 2 or 3 shooters, you got some athletes.
I've seen these two play. Nathan Smith
and
Malik Jones.
I'm getting to him.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
getting to him. All right, I want to mention Nathan Smith, our other senior. Nathan played football, and he's just now coming into his own. And Cordarius Morgan. Nathan and Cordarius Morgan, number 21, my charge guy. You know, Nathan just works his tail off every day. I think he's going to continue to get better. You know, he's just now getting in basketball shape. Him and Cordarius played football, so it's going to be late for them later coming on. But those are 2 role guys for us. It doesn't matter if they score. They're the screeners. They do the dirty work, the block out guys, take the charge.
Things you don't see in the box scores.
Things that coaches notice, but the average Joe is not going to come into our gym and notice them at all. But you got to have those guys. Every good team I've had has had those guys, the glue guys. They're glue guys. They do the dirty work, the blue-collar guys. And you've got to have it. You've got to have them on your team. And we've got those 2 guys. And Cordarius told me as a sophomore coming in, and you know, I'm gonna be frank, and he'll be honest. He'll tell you, hey, he wasn't very good as a sophomore, and he got hurt his 9th grade year, and that set him back a little bit. And but his sophomore year, you know, the kid worked hard. He's behind fundamentally, skill-wise, but he's really worked hard on it, handling the basketball, shooting the basketball. But now he gives us a defender. He'll stick his nose in there. He leads our team in charges, and he's proud of that. He's got 15 charges right now. His goal is 30 for the year. I think the most I've had at Nettleton's 25, going back to my second year. We had a post player, Justin
That's
Gary,
a unique goal.
He wants a goal.
Well, hey, I want 30 charges, Coach.
That's what he looks at.
Most kids come and say, I want 30 points a game. I want 30 charges.
Yeah, that's his goal, and that's a heck of a goal. And
but, you know, I
can
relate to that. Now, I never did have a goal for charges, but in high school, I wasn't a point scorer, okay? I might get 6, 8 points a game, but I love to play defense and get rebounds.
You weren't like Scotty.
Oh no, that dude shot the ball, man.
Okay.
If his fingernails touched it, it was gone. He used to when Tech and Paragould played one another back in the 70s, we'd run down the floor. I had to guard him or Tommy Jumper.
Okay.
If I was guarding Bowlin, he would grab my gym shorts and he'd go, "Come on, man, let me shoot. Come on, man, let me shoot." I say, "No way, you ain't getting up." I'd try to deny him the ball as much as I could, but he'd, you know. But anyway, it wasn't a deal. I didn't take as much pride in the scoring end of it as I did 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18 rebounds and playing the defense against their best offensive player.
Sure.
And so I can relate to what he's saying. I want 30 charges. I want to get rebounds. I want to be a good block out person, you know. You don't get many of those.
No, but hey, coaches will play you.
Oh boy, let me tell you, they will.
Hey, if you can, only so many guys can shoot the basketball, but you can play defense every night. If you can play defense and you can rebound and you'll do the dirty work,
you'll be on the floor.
You will be on the floor
a lot.
Cordarius is a testament to that.
Yeah.
He's on the floor. He's starting in NEA. And I had some guys call, some friends that used to work at Nettleton. They said, and they noticed the clip of Victor Duncan. One of the things they noticed, what was Cordarius doing on the floor? I said, because he's worked his tail off.
Yeah.
He's earned it. He's gotten better.
He's being rewarded.
He's being rewarded. That's exactly right. But we know we got other guys too. We got Hunter Burnett as a senior, and he's one of those guys. He hadn't played much this year, but we'd like to play more. And situation rises. He's come to practice every day. You know, you got to give those guys some props.
Sure.
Running that scout team, our scout team, and I tell them, you guys are just as valuable as anybody because this first team is getting better because of you. And it's not easy every day, coming to practice every day, being on the scout team, knowing that you're not going, you know, if they steal, we'll let them go down and score every now and then. But, you know, basically they're going to play, they're going to run the other team's stuff. And, you know, they got to know our stuff too, and then they got to know the other team's stuff, and we got to guard that. So they're as much to credit to guys like Hunter Burnett and Stuart Bridger as anybody, you know. And Stuart's a guy that can shoot the basketball and has continued to getting better, getting stronger, and their time's going to come. Their time is going to come. You got to pay your dues. I had to pay my dues in high school.
Sure, we all do.
We all do. And
I had to pay my dues just starting this company. I had to take on Grimm.
that's a lot of dues.
He's been hammering me.
You had to do that, huh?
He's been hammering me, so I had to throw that in there.
No,
but you're right. Off the funny side, you do have to pay your dues, and it's not very often that you see a sophomore in a starting lineup.
Not very often.
Yeah.
You're a pretty special player, a gifted athlete.
Either you're a
team.
special player or you don't have enough in your
lineup.
lineup.
Or your team's not very good.
Yeah,
at all.
you only have
one of the two.
Two sitting on the bench over there.
That's right.
And
exactly
I've seen some schools like that at the NEA. They were really, short on players. But
sure.
Now, do we miss anybody here?
Well,
we've gone over. But I don't care. No, I don't care. We kind of got into your time a little bit. I don't care if we go over 5 or 10 minutes. It'll be a little bit longer show here. I want to make sure.
Okay.
Coach McCord, we don't get him every week.
Yeah, because he's antisocial. We can't get him to come.
No, he's not. He's been one of our halftime guests, and I'm sure he'll come back before the end of the 5A conference plays over with. And I know this for a fact. He loves to talk about his Raiders. So, but I want to make sure we've not missed anybody. Malik
Jones, you mentioned him. 6'3", athletic. He's still growing. He's still getting better. He's got to be more physical. He knows that, but he gives us a body to, in practice every day. And we're trying to get him a little more hard-nosed, and he's going to figure it out before too long.
Sure.
He's been with us 2 years. Hopefully by the time he's a senior, he's going to figure it out. Adrian Burnett, it's Hunter's little brother, came out this year, played football, a little sophomore. Got some quickness, shoots the ball pretty good.
This kid wasn't with you last year? Or he was?
Yes, Hunter was with us.
Okay.
Adrian, his brother.
Adrian's
brother has come on. Stanley Wilson has got a big upside, we think. Stan the Man. Stan the Man went on vacation over Christmas and missed the NEA with his family, and you can't fault that. Mom, you got to do what mom tells you to do. But Stanley is about 6'2", and he's long, and he's going to be about 6'4", we hope. Stanley shoots the basketball pretty good. Stan is one of those guys. Hey, he's got to get in the weight room, get stronger, and he works on his game. He loves to play. We think he's going to be a player in the future. Hey, you never know about guys. You never give up on guys, because we've seen it before, and I've been in this thing 23 years. Guys, you think we're good players in junior high. Sometimes they don't pan out. They're they mature early, and you got late bloomers like Stanley that, hey, by the time they're a senior, they're stepping up and playing. And that's one of the things you love as a coach.
I'm going to get a little controversial here, which Scott tells me all the time. He says, that's just you. Back in your playing days, did you go on vacation during something?
No.
Okay. I got to say this because this is
for one thing, my dad wouldn't allow that. Now I wouldn't have wanted to do it.
My mom. This is the change of the times.
I was a gym rat, and that's the difference between kids.
I played basketball, football, baseball, and back then you didn't have AAU. You didn't have boys club football, which is what Paragould, Greene County has. You didn't have little kids leagues. You didn't start playing till you got to the 8th grade.
Right.
In a league. Okay, with real coaches.
Right.
Now, you had neighborhood sports, and you started playing in the 3rd and 4th grade against older kids, and you'd come home with a bloody nose, and that's how you got tough, okay?
That's right.
Saying all that, our vacation, my mother worked a full-time job, so did my dad. Our vacation was 2 weeks before high school because all-stars were over with in baseball. My brother and I always made, and then you went right into two-a-day footballs.
Right into it.
Okay? So, and our vacation usually would be 3 or 4 days. It wasn't a full week.
That's right.
So, and it was usually to a Cardinal game or something of, a 3-set series or something like that. So, times have changed. When you said he went on vacation, I understand that, but man, this is
you're part of a team, and
you're part of a team. You're part of you're in the NEA tournament. You're trying to get to the finals. You want to be a part of that, and then. On the flip side of that, as a media person, as a photographer, and everyone around this area knows me, I get all the time, well, my kid's not playing enough, and I'm going to transfer my kid. And I'm like, whoa, back off. The coach knows what he's doing, So, but anyway, you hear both sides of it, and so I just had to bring that up.
One kid that's not on the roster, I'm noticing, Corey Young.
How did I miss him?
Just got him eligible. And,
you did?
Became
okay.
eligible, and Corey was a good player for us in junior high his 9th grade year. He carried us. He was the big kid inside. He was 6'3", about 230, and was a man among boys. And he's gotten a little out of shape. We're going to have to work on his conditioning. And I'm proud of him, though. He's made his grades. He's got over a 2 points, really worked hard to get there, and has finally gotten there. But we've got to get him in shape, and hopefully he'll be a contributor. Probably not this year, but next year we're looking at.
And hopefully he'll take pride in that accomplishment of making those grades and even do better and better. Because that's why we're in school, We should never overshadow that this is all about football, basketball, baseball, softball, whatever sport you play. We're in school to get an education, further that education, and to go out here and to do something good in society. Sports is just the gift that you get to do. And so if you have athletic ability or somewhat athletic ability and you can make a team or make a cut, that's part of it. So hopefully he'll take pride in that.
That's right.
And even get that up higher.
That's right. Start academics, all about academics.
It's all about that. I tell kids all the time, you want to go play at the next level, first thing you got to do is make sure you get them grades. They're not even going to talk to you if you're at 3.4, 3.5, if you're below that.
Yeah.
Especially Division I.
Yeah.
Division
That's
I.
the first thing they always ask.
That's the first thing.
First thing.
Yeah. So, Coach, it's just been fun having you here. We appreciate you and your family, which when I said Batten's Donuts, you wasn't going to back down from that, was you?
No, that kind of caught my eye a little bit. You know, you're talking to me before, I think I might have gave you an excuse and all shucks to you a little bit. It's kind of a long drive over,
I had you a peach pie,
When you said Batten's, I kind of perked up a little bit. You know, we make my family and I, so sitting right over there, we make the trip over occasionally. So I know she'll want to go to a couple places she likes to go shopping over here.
Going to get Coach
Pocketbook. I always come here.
Pocketbook.
I say, hey, if there's a Batten's involved, I'll be part of that deal. And,
there you
peach
go.
pies, I love them, and I appreciate you hooking me up with them.
We know we can get him back.
We know that, and we also know when the next time we're going to see him is, if the schedule is still right. The next time we will see him will be a week from Tuesday when Forrest City travels to Nettleton. Is that still accurate?
Forrest City is next Friday.
See, they've messed it up.
Friday. Yeah, next Friday.
Here's the deal, Dave. I think it has to do with Forrest City.
Yeah, Forrest City had everything. The wrong schedule.
I was talking to Dr. Eccles yesterday, their athletic director, and when I told him, I took him some magazines, and I was talking to him on the phone, and he informed me that Greene County Tech, which I knew this, was coming to Forrest City last night. And I don't remember how the conversation. He goes, no. He goes, our committee made some changes. So I think anything that has to do with Forrest City
is wrong.
You're going to have to go back and check it.
All right. Well, then we know for sure we will be seeing him across the street when they travel to play Paragould.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll have that game on your PrimetimeSports.com.
Now
I take them one at a time. You can ask me my
schedule.
Sure. I just know the next one.
But here's what I suggested to Dr. Eccles yesterday, and he agreed. I said, Dr. Eccles, this magazine goes to print almost a month prior to the conference starting. If I have a schedule in there and I don't know about the changes, I can't do, and I don't want my fans to have the wrong information. So, what do you think about the magazine?
That's what I was going to say. I was going to give you guys props on the magazine. I mean, it's very well done. I know it was a lot of hard work on you guys' part, and y'all did a great job. And the final product is unbelievable. I mean, it's first class. Everything is color in there, and y'all just did a great job with that.
Well,
I'm very proud of the final product.
I am proud of it. Football and the basketball. Football, we had several errors. They were my fault. Basketball, I have found maybe 2 or 3. That's going to happen.
That's going to happen.
When you have an 80 to 100-page magazine,
it's never going to be perfect.
It's never going to be perfect.
But you guys did a great job with that, and I've already had several people comment on the magazines that have looked at it. So that's going to be a big deal, and it's a big deal for these kids. It really is, and their families.
Well, and that's what we're trying. That's what we're all about. Not just the internet TV, but the magazine, the interviews, everything we do. We want to promote those student athletes, just like Victor Dukes. Dave took the time to put that video on there.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. We want to promote them. We want them to be successful, not only in their high school careers, but to the next level if they have that opportunity. And it don't matter what college it is. We just want them to be able to go and have fun and
have an opportunity.
That's right, have an opportunity. So that's what we're all about. We appreciate all the coaches, all the athletic directors. Eventually, I'm sure we'll get outside the rims of the 5A and get other schools in here and get other schools a part of this. But right now, the 5A East is kind of our thoroughbred. And it's what we work toward, and it takes you guys to help us get this information, setting up picture day for the magazine and all those things that you guys do to help us pull this off. We appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you.
So,
we appreciate you guys, all the hard work you've put in.
So we thank you, and you got anything to say, buddy?
No, that's going to do it for today's Double G Sports Talk Saturday. Our next broadcast will be Tuesday night at Wynne. Forrest City Mustangs take on the Wynne Yellowjackets. That's the next time we'll see you.
And then we'll be Friday night, and then we'll have Double G.
And
Double
then
G
Double
Sports
G
Talk
the
next
following
Saturday.
Saturday.